Hello, Internet, and welcome to Hearts of Stone. We are so excited to be back here playing some Blades in the Dark this lovely Saturday afternoon. And we're excited for you to be joining us. It feels like it's been for fucking ever since I ran a stream or got to see all these lovely faces. And I'm so excited to be back and playing this game. Before we get started, and talk about what's going on the channel right now. So we've been kind of up in the air with streams lately, and appreciate you bearing with us for that. It is a crazy time of the year with work and all sorts of other shit, and it's just easier for us to kind of like step back, take a break, get some time to relax. But hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll be getting back to our normal schedule. I think we'll be back with Strixhaven this Tuesday, maybe. I'm seeing the GM nodding, so I think that's the hope. So that should be our next stream after this one, and then we'll be getting back into kind of our normal schedule in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, appreciate your patience with that. In the meantime, check out our YouTube. We've got tons of shows up there, streams that we've done over the last decade, and tons of stuff for you to watch. So please go check that out. I don't really have any other announcements, unless there's anything I'm missing. So I'm going to go ahead and let my lovely players here introduce themselves, talk about who they are, what they do on and off the channel, and who they're playing tonight, starting, as always, with Van.
Hi, I'm Van. You can find me on the internets at Van But Wilder, mostly hanging out in our Discord. Link is below our faces and also in the chat right now. And streaming on Twitch a few times a week when work isn't killing me. I am live Sunday nights on twitch.tv/hackrecklessly playing Dungeons and Dragons. I also run D&D Tuesday nights, most Tuesday nights, again, when I'm not just like, I just want to go to sleep. And then I play in several games throughout the week. And it's all really fun and great, and you should watch them. Today I am playing Glass, who is the Whisper.
And that's me. Hey, I'm Christina Sid. You can try to find me on the internet at Greek Sid. Good luck. I'll give you a prize if you do. I'm here Mondays, Tuesdays, and Saturdays, and potentially cooking up some new stuff on some other channels, so keep in touch. Today I am playing Salome. She is the crew's spider.
That was the wrong hotbar. I'm on a new computer. Hello, everyone. My name is RJ. You can catch me at rjustice282 on Twitch, Twitter, most other socials. I'm doing a lot of things on the interwebs as well, and I'm gonna be announcing that over the week. Today, I'm playing Fume, who's the Hull. Yeah. His pronouns are was, were, and mine are he, him.
That just leaves me. Hey everybody, I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com doing nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on the Indoor Adventure stream. But today, I am playing as Grackle, who is our hound. DanaeKeener.com.
And I am Val. You can find me at the Kraken's Crown lurking around the internet. I am here a few days a week playing running games. Other than this game, I run a game on Mondays. Red Jenny, we played the Dragon Age TTRPG, and then eventually returning to finish up the series Wednesdays for Neon Souls. Should be getting back to that shortly as well. But tonight I'm running this. Are you all ready to get started? All right. I did not write a recap, nor do I fully remember what happened last week, but I do remember the big points, and that's what I'm going to hit here. We finished off our last job with the crew to clear some of their wanted level, bring the heat down that was coming in from the Blue Coats. You had successfully framed/murdered Chief Hicks Helker of the Night Market Bluecoats.
Would that technically be manslaughter? We facilitated him being killed by a machine. Is that like vehicular accessory to vehicular manslaughter? Is that what that would be?
That'll be for the Law and Order version of this.
Okay, cool.
This show.
Cool.
If we took it to court, if we took it to court, I'm clean.
Yeah, I do really want to do there. We're gonna go on a tangent right now for a second. There is a
We're
version
allowed to. We
of
started on
this.
time for the first time in like a
I know,
year.
right? There is a version of this system. I know it's a hack of it where you play as the good guys, I guess. You're like vigilantes, like trying to stop crime in Dustfall rather than causing crime in Dustfall. Uh, and I do like the idea of it just being like Law and Order in Dustfall, where y'all
You
are
should do
playing
a
like
legal drama.
a legal drama. I feel
Val,
like
you're
I
the
am
most
far enough.
qualified to run it.
I feel like
Can
I'm
we
far enough out of law school at this point that I can do that without having a panic attack. So,
can we
Listen,
can we do
as
an Ace
long
Attorney series?
yes,
Yes,
objection.
yes, yes, yes,
as
yes.
long as I get to spike the camera and go kung kung.
I will. We will have sound cues. I'm going to set up my soundboard,
I was
and
like, we gotta get the soundboard going for that.
yeah, and we're going to have all sorts of stingers on that. I'm
I
down.
was
Put a
promised
pin
that
in
the
that
next
for next season of the show.
I was promised that the next nice gift I got was gonna be a soundboard, so everybody get ready. Because out of all of us, I think I'm one of the least qualified to have a soundboard.
Yeah, I'm kind of terrified
Wait,
what you
most
do with the soundboard.
qualified, least trusted.
I live in fear of that day.
Uh, anyway, so successfully completing your job, we returned back to the day to day. We had some downtime. Unfortunately, the downtime kicked off with an entanglement. Some of uh, your crimes catching up with you. You were raided by the Bluecoats and decided that Salome would take the fall. Her being the most likely to not die in prison through game mechanics and also Salome's social engineering skills. Salome went to prison, and we had a bit of a time jump of a couple of months while Salome was in Ironhook. Glass and Grackle had a fight. Because Glass was left kind of running the business and Grackle went missing in the Deathlands for several weeks. And Fume got locked in a basement while he built a robot. Eventually, Salome returned to day-to-day life. You had come up with some. We're making some contacts in prison. However, towards the end of your stint, you were visited by Cole Winters, the sort of attendant for the Queen of the Forgotten Gods, who reminded you of your agreement with the group that their invested interest to see this ritual that you had discovered completed, and you were put on a very tight timetable, giving you less than a month to get the rest of what you needed for this ritual, as they wanted to complete it at the conclusion of the year around like the winter solstice for this world. So Salome returned, you filled everyone in kind of where you're at right now with that, and yeah, I think that's kind of where we're picking up here today. I don't think we had actually, one of the things I had started to ask before stream and I got distracted because we're talking about other stuff. I don't think we'd actually gotten into planning that job yet or come up with any like firm leads on that. Cool. Awesome. So that is all kind of still up in the air. However, I think we need to get everybody in on this. So we're just gonna hard cut right now to Salome having returned, the jewelry box still up and running, probably sometime in the middle of the day before your like clients and stuff are coming in. When you all hear a kathunk down the hall to the bookshelf that had been dragged in front of the entrance to the cellar, where Fume has spent the last several months.
There is another kathunk. 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 I'm gonna take one drain to overcharge myself.
Okay.
And superhuman strength shove the dresser out
Okay.
of like its fixture, because it slides into the like doorway to the basement.
Yes, I won't have you roll for it. You just take the strain, and you can do something. It's kind of like that. If I remember reading this ability, it's kind of like the monster of the week. Like you take some
Take stress to give yourself like an ability to do
To
something
push
amazing.
yourself beyond limitations. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, suddenly there's a crash as the bookshelf is pushed, like capsizes against the far wall as the door is forced open, and kind of walking out from the kitchens, your Derek looks down the hall at the destruction, then looks back to all of you kind of in the front room, the sitting room when you've been having your conversations or doing your planning, and says, I'm not going to clean that up. It's not my responsibility. It's not my contract. And turns back and goes in the kitchen.
From out of the darkness in the hallway, you just hear the Splinter Cell night vision goggle sound "Pwee!" as two eyes are staring out from the darkness. Well above the height limit of where you thought Fume was gonna be.
Yeah. Is he recognizable? Like,
I think Grackle would recognize him the most because it's like an unwrinkled Bertrand Faust.
I was working my way up to like attacking you, like as a perceived threat, and now I don't know which way to go. I think she runs over because destruction is like not good. Destruction is possible threat. And then like she runs up to like intercept, and then like locks eyes, and it's Bertrand Faust.
It is from. He is currently wearing what amounts to a tea, not a tea towel, but like a towel around the waist, loincloth style, holding
God
on to
damn
the.
it. You put him in a loincloth. Jesus.
I don't have clothes that fit my body, Salome.
I was
on to
gonna
the
laugh. You were
doorframe.
just wearing your tiny boy clothes.
No, those
Very
are on the
great.
other one.
Giant robot, Salome's concern, aesthetic. Like, really? Loincloth?
A man steps out from the darkness, tan-skinned, hair cut short and styled very clean. It does look like Fume, but if Fume had lost the baby fat around his face. Fume used to stand at a decent 5'5", now he's at a 5'10". So probably standing about neck level to Grackle.
Mm-hmm.
He's Salome's height now. Damn.
Grackle has her gun, but it's pointed away. She like gives him a suspicious look. Faust?
You would not believe the time that I spent down there.
She like looks over at the door. Oh shit, he was stuck down there, wasn't he?
Yeah. And remember when you told me to fill in the pipes? I couldn't call for help.
Oh.
What's new, everyone?
You knew I went to prison, yes?
You what?
Oh, right.
Yeah, y'all did barricade everything for the blue coats showing
Yeah, that
up,
was
so-
for the raid.
I just thought you all forgot about me down there.
Why didn't you
No.
just, like, build a rocket or something and get out?
Or just knock very, decisively on the door?
I did, but no one was around apparently.
Oh, I was quite around.
You might have been busy then.
Maybe we ought not to have soundproofed the vault.
There's a lot of thumping that happens in this building pretty regularly. So
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
We got tired of
When
Cobb
there's a
screaming.
horse parade walking around everywhere.
I know.
So, hello.
Hello.
This is me now.
making
Nice.
an assumption here, I think another form comes walking up behind Fume, and it's Fume, as you knew him, comes stepping up next to him, looks around, says, "Hello, everybody."
Oh, good, it worked.
Yes.
Oh.
For
This is
everyone,
getting used to.
my little brother Emilian.
Emilian, we've heard so much about you. It's a pleasure to meet you officially.
I much prefer this meeting to the last one.
Excuse me, Derek.
Yes. Oh, you grew up.
Hands Derek a pouch full of coin. When you get the chance, could you please purchase me some day wear?
Takes the coin.
Keep the change.
Right. I suppose I would. Yes, of course.
There's probably something in the Lost and Found you can wear. I don't know why
Ugly
I think
sweater.
we have a Lost and Found. We definitely have a Lost and Found, right?
How many times have people lost pants, shirts, skirts?
We just have like a wardrobe. It's a big sign that says Lost and
I'm
Found.
just imagining him in like a cable knit, like turtleneck.
Cable knit turtleneck, short pants, socks and sandals.
In the meantime, I believe I have some things you can borrow, and lets you access his rather drab wardrobe. There's some flair in there, but
Oh, it's just like a white button-up shirt,
yeah.
black slacks, some shoes, rolls up the sleeves. Thank you. I feel complete.
Good. I'll get on your request. And yeah, Derek will go do some shopping for you so you have some clothes.
Jail time, hmm?
It seemed prudent, all things considered. It has done what it was supposed to do. However, you do recall that ritual that was apparently divinely invested within me by some forgotten god.
Yes.
Yes, they've sped up the timetable quite a bit, so...
Great. Lovely. What do you need?
10 more heartstones and about 13 gallons of refined Leviathan blood.
I need refined Leviathan blood for the hull making process. Do I have any excess?
You probably have some, but not nearly as much as Salome needs. I think Salome needs 131 gallons.
Holy shit.
Was it 100? Okay, I wrote it down somewhere here.
Let me.
You probably have like a pint on hand.
Maybe.
A pint or two at
Let me
most.
go. Salome's contract. It's 131 gallons of distilled
There.
Leviathan blood. 13 intact heartstones. And then you had the 13 pounds of bone dust and the
Yes,
13
we-
pounds of gold shavings.
Yes, we did that as a long-term project. So yes, the 131 gallons and we have 3 complete heartstones from some of the assassinry we've been doing. So she needs 10 more.
Okay, that sounds doable, I think.
We may need to touch base with Captain Panzia, I think. Might be our best bet.
Right, what are we going to do about the missing heartstones that you need?
Well, I believe that might be best done subtly.
Oh, 1 second. Emilian, you can go up to my room and hang out for a bit. We're gonna talk business for a little.
All right. Well, I'm out of the way.
No, don't act like that.
I believe
My-
June's in the kitchen if you'd like someone to visit with.
That might be more productive use of my time.
Oh yeah, June. And who's our other stray that had been possessed by a million?
That was.
No, that
what's her
was
name?
June.
That was June.
Oh,
no,
sorry.
yeah, it's June and
And then Nala's in there
and
too, I'm
Nala,
sure. Yeah. Okay.
I don't. There was something else too. Hold on.
Are you thinking of Bastian?
we
Because we haven't gone to get him yet.
We haven't gotten Bastion
we haven't
yet.
gone to get him. Okay. We've adopted so many strays. I
We
can't
really
keep track
have.
of them at this point.
Because the
Collecting
coffer only
them,
has Will,
put
Nala,
them on.
June, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yeah, it might be Nala that I was thinking of. Yeah.
Grackle give him a firm pat on the shoulder as he walks by.
So I wasn't able to fully get everything up and running since I was on a time crunch, but I'm at least 95% operable in this body, which is good enough.
You need anything else?
If I think of anything, we can always procure it.
What's the other 5% then?
Ooh, mostly structural integrity. I messed up a little bit down there and couldn't come up to retrieve any new parts, so. But hey, I can do this now, and he will take a hold of some electric, like. We have, like, electroplasm lamps in here, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
He feeds a little bit of electroplasm into the lamp and it glows a little bit brighter.
Save on the energy bill, I suppose.
Or one hell of a stun gun.
Ah. All right. Any other fun new developments we should know about?
No, not that I'm aware of. I was mostly in my own head, and that's never a good thing. So I'm rip-raring to go on a job.
I want you to know that I'm saying this with 100% sincerity because sometimes that gets lost with me. Have you ever thought about manufacturing sex toys?
Huh. I mean, it would be simpler than making a hull. Huh.
Just a thought in
Untap-
case you ever get bored.
Untapped market. We'll put a pin on that. We'll circle back to it soon.
We could have marketing parties, would be quite easy.
Or, if we have our own specialty items in-house, people pay money for that kind of thing.
Oh, or we could leave them as calling cards at the job.
We've just now gotten a lot of unnecessary publicity out of the way, so I'd rather not garner some unnecessarily.
That's fair.
You right in the head, old man?
All
Last
the
time
eggs.
We had someone down there for that long. It was Cobb, so.
Well, one, I wasn't being held there against my will on purpose. So, I'm fine. Honestly, it gave me enough time to catch up with Emilian. So, most good I have gotten in a while.
Is he alright?
Yeah, how is he with all of this?
I had to update him on a couple of things. Wasn't sure how to break the news that you, Grackle, were the one that killed me, but he took it extremely well.
Emilian's standing in the like in the kitchen right now with like a knife, just like eyeing for a second, and then ducks back in.
Cutting some
no.
mushrooms.
Instead, he's looking through the window and just starts chopping faster and faster and faster.
Not looking down.
For Emilian's own benefit, I left some of my functionality inside of that body. Can't go completely poisonous, but can secrete a paralytic. In case something gets too close to him.
Decent enough.
And how much does he know about the activities within the businesses.
Emilian,
Yes.
where did I leave off on the story? Was it exploding or?
You blew up a factory
Yes.
and attempted to murder the Baron?
Yes.
Was it?
Who, remember, hired someone to kill me first, so it was justified. There's no statute of limitations for being a dick.
I do remember you saying that. I don't remember reading that in any of my studies.
About that much.
All right.
Returning a bit later is I keep wanting to say Reggie. I'm Derek.
Derek Reginald.
Derek.
Derek with a small with some like a few bundles of like clothes that says, with the limited amount of coin that you had left, this was about all I could procure for you.
You are a scholar, a saint, and a snappy dresser, Derek. They do not pay you enough.
I try. Thrift shopping is my hobby.
Hobby.
I love that for him. Goes thrifting.
He goes antiquing sometimes.
Which I
That's
should
so
say
fucking
too.
wholesome.
Do you want to tell everyone how much coin you have left?
Yeah, I've got three in my stash, one on hand.
That's
Out of-
Oh,
fun.
baby.
Let me tell you, out of 30, I used to have 30 in my stash.
He's
So we
living
were gonna
in
say I was offering this
squalor.
because I know y'all have money in the crew. RJ didn't want to like preemptively take anything in the crew. I will let RJ put stuff back in if y'all want to put any crew funds into it. He can put it back at a 1 to 2 rate to get back this to recoup some of the stash that he lost in the.
I literally completed my hull by the skin of my teeth,
It was like you
Oh,
only had like basically one
buddy.
more reroll left.
essentially.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was trapped down there.
Oh my god.
Then you would get like fucking Ultron in the basement. Hello, everyone.
So y'all have. I feel like y'all had. Were y'all at capped on
Yes, we have
on
16 in
coin?
the crew.
So if y'all wanted to put any in, then Fume could get some stash back. But
That seems like a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not against it.
How much stash are you gonna give me?
I'm full up on my personal stash. I am now officially,
Damn.
yeah. But I can pull out of that. I can give you 3.
I'll take.
Okay. So
Thank
am I doing double from I do double from my stash for that?
okay, so you're taking it from your stash, not from the crew.
Because I can take from the
Oh.
cruise stash, and
Yeah,
there's
well,
no
y'all-
conversion there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If y'all just want to give him some crew, like he could have used some crew coin in that, and
Yeah, the vault
It
is
is-
full, so
yeah.
we could pull.
And for each
More out of
one that he would take from that, he can get 2 stash back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So I refill up to there. Thank you.
Yeah, we can pull 4 out of the vault.
Pull
So
4
take-
out of the vault.
8, my friend.
So if he takes 4, then he gets 8 stash back. Yeah.
Woo!
Holy crap.
Yay!
Well, so I'm saying that he would have taken that instead of
Instead of
spending the
Instead of
stash.
taking stuff out of a stash.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
Got it.
essentially retconning
So
it
not
and saying he
replacing
could have.
it.
Yeah, in this one instance, I'm letting him do that because we didn't have time between sessions to like talk about
Yeah.
that. So that way, Fume is not back to a poor lifestyle.
Salome, I think I'm going to need to pick up a couple more hours.
Absolutely. And you know, looking at the new body, if you're interested in contracting for other things,
It's good work.
It Has been some time, I warn all of you. I'm going to need a refresher.
We'll get you in with some of the clients who just want to have dinner and someone to talk to.
And I could act not like me.
Absolutely.
Could be fun.
I am liking the idea of like a Rocky style training montage, but for sex.
It's the
A lot of hip thrusts with like resistance bands.
what's it? It's the TF2 animation where Spy trains Scout how to date.
Slapping chicken out of his hands.
I get there at 6 a.m. Scout the
me.
place. Don't know the chef? Take him out. Put one of my own guys in there. That is insane.
While Salome was gone, I was instituting a lot of sort of training programs and everything, so
It's
I
true.
probably have one now.
Resident sex toy inventor and sex toy themselves.
All of our contractors set their own rates. Something to consider.
And their own specialties.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's a feature I can add. He'll walk away up to his room.
Yes.
Oh my god. So,
Do you know how people feel about tentacles?
There's definitely a market for it.
I think we talked previously about like Leviathan play.
Well, because you gotta think that, like, one of the top fantasies is, like, I want to be with a Leviathan hunter, right? Like, it's so
Yeah.
exciting.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Or they are the Leviathan hunter.
No,
Yeah.
like, my brain just went through this scene of, like, person and the Leviathan hunter on the bed, and then someone kicks the door in some fucking rubber Leviathan costume.
Y'all do have a big rubber Leviathan costume in the
Oh,
in storage.
absolutely.
The Leviathan gimp suit.
Yeah. Yo, we've got everything. We cater to all tastes.
I'm telling you guys, deciding that we ran a brothel was one of the best, like, group decisions we've ever made.
Yeah.
It's like an endless well of fun.
It
Yeah.
was definitely a decision. We wouldn't have gotten horse parade if it wasn't for that.
Oh my god.
It's crazy that this is our 30th episode of this and we're still coming up with new stuff that the brothel has.
Like a magician on a stage, Fume pulls away a cloth to reveal a box with like different holes in it, and he says, "Pick one." Reach in, go ahead.
A delight for every sense.
And that's a turd. Got it.
Pulls hand out of one hole. On to the next grand adventure.
Yay.
Okay, so
We've got places to be. Let's go.
y'all have a job to do, allegedly.
Which sounds like more fun. I figure one of these, either the stones or the Leviathan blood, we could turn into a long-term project.
I was going to say we could probably turn the Leviathan blood into acquire asset,
Okay?
because that seems a bit more feasible than breaking into the docks and stealing a bunch of Leviathan blood.
Yeah.
Bunch of gallons of...
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna put it this way: we just took out Hicks Helker, who is the guy that was in charge of all of the Baron's smuggling operations. So there's a vacuum there.
also a very good point. So I guess which one? Like we could turn getting a couple of Heartstones into acquiring an asset or, just long-term project, or we could turn the blood. And then whatever
I think
whatever
it's-
and then whatever we don't do, we turn into a job. Is that what
Yeah.
we're saying?
Essentially, yeah.
Okay.
Because
Well,
the only way
what
we
are we-
get that many Heartstones is like...
we
busting
either
up with the
murder
Death
between people.
Yeah.
It's like we just
that's-
brought our heat down.
that's the question I was gonna bring up. I'm like, Okay, Grackle is good at murdering. She will do a lot of murdering for you if that is what you want from Grackle. Or is it more reasonable to try and steal some heartstones from a morgue or something?
That's more what I was thinking.
I have access to a lot of Spirit Warden stuff now.
Yeah, which the Spirit Wardens would be the ones that would be keeping the Heartstones.
The
unclaimed
only
Heartstones.
the only
I could try to
problem
place
with
them out.
the Hearthstone thing, though, is because of what the Baron is doing and being able to sign people on to hull production. If Hearthstones go missing and the people want their family and friends to be in hulls, there might be a big bloop.
Well, there's got to
You
be
know?
records of like. I mean, I
Who
imagine.
said organ donor? Who said no?
Yeah, and also like which ones have been in there for like years
Ever.
and years, right? That
Yeah.
no one's come to get.
Yeah.
I'll bring it up. Do we care about the moral implication?
No.
I mean, I
Like,
don't.
do we have hangups on whose heartstones exactly we're taking?
What do they do with the heartstones of prisoners who are executed?
Ooh.
Imagine
So,
they also go to the Spirit Wardens, right?
Right?
yeah. Yeah, the Spirit Wardens essentially have vaults that they keep Heartstones in. The ones, so my head canon for this game, I don't think we've really gotten into it for a while, was the ones that are kept by the Spirit Wardens are ones that are claimed. Like, if somebody dies and somebody shows up to like essentially identify the body, claiming them, they can essentially fill out forms that the Spirit Wardens will hold on to those heartstones until they're able to like pay the fee that they are to claim them for themselves. There's like some paperwork and stuff that goes into it, because a lot of this was done with the assumption that like transference and things like that technology was being developed at the time. So that was part of it too, that the Spirit Wardens don't just want people holding on to heartstones because of the dangers that could pose as far as like rogue spirits and stuff being released, because if a heartstone's broken, then the spirit is freed. The ones that are not claimed, which are usually the ones that are like, people that are executed, like prisoners, things like that, they're kept in like holding for a number of time, like 30 days, so that somebody can claim them. If nobody shows up, then they are dissolved in electroplasm, so the spirit is destroyed.
Okay, so that being the case, would it be reasonable to make this into a long-term project and then like establish somebody like saying that they're dissolving these heartstones in electroplasm and instead squirreling them away for us?
Ooh, yeah.
Good.
I was gonna suggest something similar, yeah.
Potentially. That's something that you could do.
Leviathan blood just seems like something that would be easier to heist.
Yeah. So, and you need distilled Leviathan blood,
Yeah.
which is a process. So Leviathan blood that is taken, Leviathan hunter ships go out, they hunt Leviathans, gather the raw lifeblood of the Leviathans and take them to Scoval, where there are Leviathan blood processing plants. Essentially, it is a very there's a lot of byproduct of the process, like a lot of hazardous materials that are produced. So they don't want it done in Dustfall because it's dangerous. So they do it in one of the colonies. The
Literal toxic fallout.
yeah, which is one of the reasons that Scoval is, the Scovlins hate the Empire so much, is because of kind of the fact that they use them like that. So it's distilled there. So Leviathan hunters take the blood there, they drop off their payload, they return to port. Then there are other ships that essentially gather Leviathan blood, Imperial ships. They gather it from Scoval, transport back to the city, where then it is like loaded up onto trains, taken to the different cities in the Empire, or is used here in Dustfall, and disseminated to the different facilities and stuff, and sold to the people that use it.
So you know how a while ago someone wished for us to get out of Duskfall? Could we
Train heist?
Well,
Train heist?
Well, I was gonna say maybe we run like a ruse and say that, hey, we're here on behalf of like Captain Panzea to pick up some Leviathan blood in Scoval.
Or
Because we do have a boat.
oh, we do have a boat.
We do have a boat.
We do have a boat.
Or we could try and set up or pretend to be whoever has sort of taken over that smuggling
Operation.
responsibility from Helker. I always call him Heckler. Helker, and do a switcheroo that way.
Either way, it sounds like the refined Leviathan blood is going to be the job, and the Heartstones is going to be the long-term project.
Yeah, so kind of the way that we can kind of do this is the job, the overarching job here is the ritual, is to I don't know what Salome's end goal here is. It like doing the ritual, stopping the ritual, whatever it might be, but to essentially get the materials for it. And these are the jobs, the jobs and setup that you have to do to get to that point. So we're doing this in kind of stages. I think we talked about this for like the last job too, because y'all did some setup stuff for the job with Helker. We can either do it as a setup action, or we can do it as like a mini job that leads into the bigger job. Because y'all have two things here that are kind of separate that you need to do both of them in order to do the main thing that you're trying to accomplish. So it really just depends on if y'all aren't interested in like playing out the murder of 13 people to get their Heartstones, then you could potentially do that as a setup to make contacts. There are plenty of people in Dustfall that are not like, you can go the Spirit Warden route, and Glass could try to snag some from the wardens. There are also plenty of people in the black market that deal with procuring and selling Heartstones as well. So lots of options there. And then the Leviathan blood would need to be blood coming from Scoval. Usually that transportation is handled by the Ministry of Preservation. And so somewhere along the way, you would need to interrupt that route to snag some for yourself. Either, like you were saying, setting yourself up as smugglers and making contacts and putting coin in the right pockets, or some other means of getting it.
I have a tangentially related question.
Shoot.
Because I don't remember why. So our rep is full right now.
Yes.
Why didn't we tier up last time?
I don't remember.
Because we wanted to.
Was it because we didn't want to spend the money yet?
I think so.
That might have
yes, it was. We didn't want to spend the money yet, just in case we needed to use some money for Fume for the hull. That was why.
So we can, well, not tier up, but we can spend our rep and get our hold from weak to strong.
Yeah, which would set you up for getting up to tier 3.
It's tangentially related because I wanted to know if we were going to do that, because it's going to have us working with a much different amount of money.
Yeah, that's a good question. Let me
But if we don't
remind
do it, we're not
myself.
going to get any more rep, because rep won't flow over.
I need to remind myself how much you have to spend to increase your tier.
Isn't it like 2 times or 4 times your rank?
But it's cheaper because we have a patron.
Yeah.
So you need 12 this is what the book says. You need 12 rep to fill the rep tracker on your cruise ship. When you fill the tracker, do one of the following. If the hold is weak, it becomes strong. Okay, so to change your rep from, I think we talked about this last time, to change your rep from weak to strong, it does not take coin.
You just have to fill your track.
You just have to fill your track and spend it, and you increase it to strong.
Okay.
It's to increase your, if you're trying to increase your tier by 1, it costs coin equal to your new tier times 8.
But not to up, because we talked about it last time and we were under the impression that it also took coin to go from weak to strong.
Yeah, and I think because I looking at the rules here, it does not say it takes coin to go from weak to strong.
I'm just gonna do
Great.
that.
Yeah.
And because
You
we
might
have
have been saving it
because
too
we-
because you can spend rep to do things.
I think it was the money thing.
Yeah, it might have been.
It also does, since we've got a turf now, it does take us 11 instead of 12.
Woohoo!
Cool.
11 rip. Okay.
Yeah, and if y'all want to go up to 3, then it's going to take you 24 coin
Divided by 2.
divided by 2, so it'd be 12 coin.
Okay.
And 11 rep.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, okay.
What can I roll wealth on?
Anything.
Pretty much anything that'd be like any other skill. It
Okay.
depends on what you're trying to do.
As long as you justify it, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that is now my wealth is now my highest skill because it is 4.
Because, like, as Fume, I would use my wealth beforehand to roll for, like, Sway and Consort, because those were dog shit.
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. I mean, above table, I'm just gonna say what sounds juicier if we get involved with some spirit warden stuff to try to get some heartstones. That sounds like it could have really fun complications.
Yeah, my biggest hang up with the Leviathan blood is just the quantity.
I mean, we're literally gonna have to do like a full like we're gonna have to
We have to go to a wholesale.
yeah. Well, like I'm imagining train heist of like unhooking a couple of train cars worth of fucking Leviathan blood and taking it
Just,
somewhere
like,
else. Like holy
move it
shit, it's so
somewhere
much.
Pulling
Yeah.
the decoupler on a train card, and then like a train switch to have it curve off into another
Yeah.
locomotive and hook
Like-
up.
It's
mean-
like seriously.
Here's the thing. We could make them both jobs.
We could.
We don't have to not do 2 jobs.
Yeah.
We
I'm-
could do them both.
Yeah.
I'm down either way.
You want to do both?
We could just do
You want to do
both.
both?
Yeah. Yeah, for context, if we're like to put it in like scope for 131 gallons, an oil barrel, so you think of the size of like an oil barrel, is 42 gallons.
Oh, barrel.
So we
You
need
essentially-
like 3 of them.
You need like 3 of those.
Oh, okay. That's a
Oil.
lot. That's a lot
Easy.
easier than I'm assuming.
Did you know that you can purchase 50 gallons of crude oil off of Amazon?
Sure thing, buckaroo. Now here's
Oh
the thing.
my god.
We only
You know Amazon does
Need.
healthcare now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
you gotta stop. I'm getting very depressed.
I'm gonna get very
quickly.
angry. Yeah. I'm so angry right now.
Now here's the thing. Much like we could do 2 jobs. We only like need 3 or 4 big barrels. But we also have a great basement for storing things in.
We do.
We do.
I'm just saying we could still do the train heist and we could take a whole fucking train
Yeah.
car of Leviathan blood if we wanted to, and then we have that.
Pros and cons. Here's a good way to think about it. If you do it as a score, you get paid and stuff for it. So if you're going after Leviathan blood as a score, the assumption is that you're going to get enough to like also sell on the side, do some other things. The same thing with the Heartstones. If you're doing that, you're going to get enough to also sell on the side to earn some coin as well. If you're doing these as like I'm actually just going to go buy it, I'm going to find somebody who can sell me this shit, then that's going to cost you money instead. So it's like what's more important to y'all right now is like, you know,
Let's do a job. Let's do it.
okay. So
Fume
what
has re-erected the dresser. So what are we going to do now?
what do you want to go for first?
We should probably snap on the smuggling if there is a power vacuum that hasn't been filled yet.
Very true.
It's not like the Heartstones are going anywhere.
No, I don't think so.
Technically speaking, they go into the electroplasm.
People are always dying in Duskwall.
You could say that people are always dying to get into graveyards. Da 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 da.
I will
No.
put you back in the basement.
Please don't.
All right. Can we do some setup actions?
Yeah.
to-
Well, yeah, I'd assume you have to because you need to figure out exactly what you're gonna go after and kind of learn how this process
I
works.
want to figure out if it's going to be more prudent to rob a train or rob a ship.
Well,
Or, third option, the factory itself, but that seems exceptionally dangerous for some reason.
that's all the way in Skovland, no?
Correct.
Correct.
Well, from a defensive standpoint, if we do rob the ship while it's out in the water, defenses would likely be less than actually robbing a train in the city.
As if we rob a train, the only assets we're really putting in danger are ourselves as opposed to the boat.
True. We haven't used the trains in a while.
It has been
It's
a bit.
been feels like about 30 episodes actually since we've used the trains.
Nose starts leaking.
It was really just a train teaser in that one. Y'all just like stepped on a train for a bit. and did
It
some
was our
actual-
approach.
It was
It was our approach.
approach.
Okay.
I don't see
Could
how
we-
can unhook a train car or something and take it with us.
This would probably mean your yeah. Let's well. I'm not gonna tell you that. Do setup.
Could we? I'm not gonna help you. Do your fucking setup.
What am I doing? Play the game.
What am I doing? Why am I giving y'all
Play the
shit?
Could we do some gather info?
Yeah.
Maybe even utilizing Pansia, just like casual conversation of sort of that Leviathan process, and maybe he happens to know route schedules or such.
Yeah.
I have
was gonna
something
say-
specific I want to look for.
Ooh, what?
Because I think if I can help gather information, I'm gonna have Glass skulk around in using the underground maps and passkeys that we already have
Oh,
as a group. To which the Pansia thing is great too. I think we could do these sort of in tandem and compare
Conjunction.
the train routes with what we know of the underground of Duskwall and try to find like the best
Ambush
location essentially to do
Yeah.
this so we could get it underground immediately and not
I'm gonna
love
give
that.
y'all the information. I'm gonna give y'all a piece of information just because you would know this, and it's even on the map here. You see on our map, on our beautiful map of Dustfall here, in Night Market, you see the lines running through to that big facility there,
It's the station, isn't it?
like over here.
4.
Yeah, those are where the trains run in Dustfall. So they run into the city and then they leave. There aren't any trains that actually run like throughout the city. So just keeping, so that would be where you were like scoping out if you want to try to get some information.
cool.
But yeah, so who wants to do some gather information and what are you doing?
Yeah. I would like to do some gather info, and yeah, try to. We'll sort of do a little two-pronged effort here. That's what I was looking for. Let's talk to Pansia and try to get some specifics about train times.
Okay. So with Pansia, I'm actually,
Or if Pansy is not a good option, I could just
I'm
go
gonna
through
do
my
a-
network.
I'm gonna do a fortune roll to see if Pansia is in town right now.
Oh, that's
right,
right.
it's
season.
It is
He was-
season.
He was about to leave,
Yeah.
and then we had 6
right.
months of jail time.
That is fair.
Not quite. Like I think you are at the point where he could be have returned, depending on how the season has gone. So let me roll for that. Let's see.
I've got a really fun idea.
we're gonna do. I think it's just one die, and it's just
For luck.
just for luck here.
Just for luck.
And y'all wanna high roll. One submit.
Oh.
4. Okay. So mixed success. I'm gonna say he's in town. He's very busy. So you're gonna have to go to him to meet with him.
Okay.
He does a lot of business by the docks. Obviously, running his shipping company there is where he spends most of his days. And I don't think we've actually talked about where he lives. He has a manor house in Brightstone as well. So
Right next to the docks. Makes sense.
So tell me kind of how Salome approaches this.
I think just overall kind of discussing, investment stuff that we've been doing, talking about, the expansions and everything. And I think which is very easy to do with Pansia, just getting him talking about the thing that he's most excited about, which is the Leviathan blood industry. You know what I mean? Like, oh, and that, and like, oh, that's very interesting. Well, how does that work? And then just let him go. Just like really get him on the perfect tangent.
Okay, so you maybe approach him at work.
Yeah.
Make a book an appointment with his secretary.
Yeah, like it's about how things are going, like an update on all of the lovely investments that he's made, but then get him going on that perfect tangent.
Fume sends Salome off with expense reports.
Perfect.
Okay, let's go ahead and do the roll, and then that'll kind of inform how the scene goes. So.
I get the +1. So I'm rolling with 4 here.
Are you doing consort, sway?
Yeah, I was gonna do consort.
Okay.
Because he's part of my network. Oh my god. That is a 1-1-1-4. Jesus Christ, that was awful.
Jeez.
So a big success.
Okay.
All of you are going to jail. All of you.
Mixed success. So you head to the docks, find his shipping company here. You see
His
like
shipping company.
simping company.
He's always simping.
Leviathan simp.
I don't know why that's what my brain heard.
You're kind of waiting around for a couple hours while there's some offices and stuff here where like the administrative side, like think of like the like turn of the century kind of like the big offices where like there's like rows and rows and rows of all of these like desks that was like typing away at, like all in like a big open room, and it's just like with like one office that's his at the very end, and this is like all the like the clerical side of running a shipping company and running a Leviathan hunting ship. And so like just like lots of like typewriters typing away. You're waiting in his office. You can hear like the clattering from out on the main floor. And you've been waiting here for a bit. In the office that you are currently in, since we haven't seen it before, big desk that looks to be like some sort of repurposed like big piece of like driftwood
Cool.
that has been like sanded down and varnished. There are like charts and maps across the room of the like currents and coastlines, very like nautical fare. And behind his desk is a huge like shark skull mounted on the wall, big like set of jaws. It's sort of bound around the edge with rope. He as you're waiting in there for a bit, the whole room kind of smells a bit like tobacco. You
Sort of just, I'm sure there's just huge like off gassing, you know what I mean? Like that smell of
Yeah.
overpowering, I'm sure.
Yeah. eventually coming wheeling around into the room, removing his cap and hanging it on the coat rack along with his big like captain's jacket. He comes to the room and he says, "Miss Salome, I am sorry for keeping you waiting. It's been a busy day.
This is why I came to you, Captain. I know this is one of your most intense times of the year, so please, no apology necessary."
Well, it's there regardless. Can I get you anything for keeping you waiting? I have tea, I think. Mostly just I've got a few bottles I've stashed away around here.
I did see a little top of a whiskey bottle poking out over there from the desk. I'll take 2 fingers of that if you don't mind.
Good eye, good eye. He reaches in the desk, pulls out 2 glasses, the bottle. He uncorks it and pours for both of you. Sits back in his like rich, like red leather chair as he clinks his glass with yours and takes a sip. He says, "So, how's business at the jewelry box?"
Thump! Expense reports everything. Quite good, Captain.
Begins looking over it. Says, "Happy to see my investment is going to good use and the expansion is going well.
Absolutely flourishing.
Pleasant. Very good, very good. Well, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to share bookkeeping with me. Is there anything else that you should need from me right now?"
Oh, quite honestly, Captain. This was a bit of a social call wrapped into a business one. As you may have heard, I did take a slight vacation over the past several months, so I was looking to catch up with, dare I presume, a friend.
Oh, well, it means I've been away for.
Oh, if he didn't know, then maybe I don't say that. Then maybe I'll just say it's like, I've just been, just wanting to catch up with a friend.
Yeah, I mean, based on what you know, he just returned to town in the last like couple of weeks. So
He don't know then, not saying shit. All right, cool.
Probably wouldn't have made it to him yet.
Cool.
He says, "Well, social calls are very much welcome. It's been, I've found myself separated from the goings on here in port. So, by all means, what do you need from me?"
You old dog. Please, tell me about the travels. Tell me how everything's been going this season. Pour him another glass,
Yeah, he says, "It was profitable, I'll say. Yeah, we got beat to a few scores, unfortunately. It seems that our chart makers were a bit off in their predictions for rich hunting grounds this season. But we made up our losses. May have, if the weather holds, which, based on all forecasts, we're hoping it does, may make another run at it before the season ends."
Is that typical?
Oh, it happens. It's not. It doesn't help the shareholders very much. They're not as keen on hearing that. They much prefer us being the holding in our share as we have in the last few seasons. But it's neither here nor there. We'll make up for it in the long run, I'm sure.
How would that affect the process of the distilling if something's coming in a bit later? That entire process is completely above my pay grade, as they would say, but I do find it fascinating.
Well, it's a bit above my expertise, but from what I know,
and you know a great deal, Captain. Pour him a little bit more.
You're flattering me.
Of course I am. It's what I do best.
The refinement process is technical. From what I understand of it, the factories in Scoville have it's work in progress. They're always finding better ways to refine more. There's these beasts, these leviathans are nasty creatures. We don't fully understand them. I've looked one dead in what I assume was an eye and seen nothing but death and destruction, and enough to drive you mad, to be truthful. I've seen many sailors return from their first voyage and never step foot on a ship again after seeing one first. Anyway, the blood that they carry, the power inside of them is breathtaking. It's beyond anything that I think any mortal man can comprehend. But from what I understand, the energy inside of their blood is, it's powerful. It's raw, untapped essence. You could speak to some of the church folk; they probably know more than I would. But it's some of the nature of the soul and all of that. I don't really care myself.
I prefer the more practical explanation myself. So,
But they essentially draw out the electroplasm, the power that we use, and well, it's kind of like gestures to like light fixtures and stuff, and says through some sort of complicated refinement process. It's a bit of a nasty affair. If you've never seen one of those factories in person, count yourself fortunate. You think
goodness.
this place has a reek about it? Trust me, it's far worse in Scovland. But the bigwigs at the Empire, the scholars that are paid a pretty penny to keep that up and going, essentially draw out that energy from the blood itself. The blood is discarded, waste. The energy itself that's thrown out is what's important. That's barreled up, put on ships, or, well, transported to the southern reaches of Scotland, follows a transport route across the Empire, partitioned out to each of the cities in their fair share, and eventually making it here to Duskfall through a circuitous route. I don't deal much. I have some dealings with the ministry and some representatives there that keep up to date on our books. We're required to report to them on our hulls, how much we're gathering during our season, and but most of that is handled from them on their side, the transportation side in Scotland. So, other than that, it's about my knowledge of it. I get paid for the amount of raw blood I bring in at the end of the season.
of course, I would assume such a transport is quite a bit volatile, though. Is it? I would hope, at least, as a citizen of the Empire, that the transportation comes at least somewhat outside of the main city proper.
Yes, the
Just
By my-
sort of like twisting a handkerchief under the table, like, come on, man, give me more, give me more.
from what I know, because I had the same thing. I mean, blood itself that we bring in is a rather nasty thing. Touching it, or if you get any on yourself, can have some rather serious side effects. We try to stay. We have precautions in place, but usually every year, a few sailors find themselves on the wrong side of a harpoon and end up. Well, it's a bit of a nasty business, but
Seems in both of our businesses a proper prophylactic is always necessary, so yes.
I suppose so, if you think about it that way. But yes, when it is transported, the distilled ectoplasm, the distilled fuel source, it can be volatile, from what I hear. Part of why they do it in Skovland and not here in Dustfall, trying to keep the many people of the Empire safe as possible. But from what I know, most of the distilling is done in Lockport in Skovland and then follows its train routes down to Arvade, where then it's shipped across to Severos, follows a few transport lines, eventually making it back across the sea to Akaros, where the trains bring it around, some shipping south towards the Imperial City, others coming north toward Dustfall. Most of the Leviathan blood coming in here is through Night Market. Um, the trains that bring it in don't make it far into the city, usually heavily guarded as they approach,
Of course.
to keep the people safe.
Naturally. Well, that is a relief at least. Well, tell me about this massive, maddening Leviathan eye. I don't think I've heard that one. Pour him a little more of a drink now that I have a somewhat of an idea of where we're going here. So
Yeah.
I'll just finish out a lovely personal visit with the captain.
He goes off on a story telling you all about it. Jesse begins to trail off and finishes his drink. Eventually kind of like turning the conversation and asks, I've been meaning to ask you, since I've been in town.
Of course.
Have you heard from Jack recently? Now I know your business is, from what I've heard, you weren't fully apprised of the situation, and I know that Grackle, as you knew her, might have kept some things from you. And I know that this business with the Baron is complicated, but after seeing, after what happened and seeing Jack firsthand at the, that gathering, I've been wanting to speak with her. If you have any leads that might point me in her direction, I'd appreciate it.
Does any part of this potential alleged conversation intend to get back to the Baron himself?
Depends on how the conversation goes.
I need a direct answer, Captain. Do you intend to tell the Baron of Grackle's whereabouts?
Kind of sits back. He says, I've found myself mixed up with that family for a long time right now. I've been in business with the Baron for many years. I owe him a lot. I knew him back when things were different. I'm really just trying to understand what's happening here and which side of this I should find myself on. But I can't promise that I can't step away from what I have. And going against or turning coat against Lord Meriden is a dangerous affair.
Practically suicidal, I understand. That's not what I'm asking, however. If I could procure a way for you to get in contact with Jack. Would you swear to not inform the Baron without Jack's explicit consent? Surely, given that behind all of this is truly a family matter, can we not both agree that it should be up to Jack whether she wishes to reach out to her father?
All right. I promise you, I won't tell him.
Is he telling the truth?
No.
Okay. Do I get petty and make him shake on it? Or do I just lie and say that I can see what I can do?
Go with what your heart says.
I mean, at Salome's heart, she's always petty. Okay.
Not petty to take out a little insurance.
That's just smart business practice.
That's very true.
What a combination to be able to like call somebody out on their lie and then make them promise.
It's exactly why I took them.
So good.
She holds out her hand to shake on it.
He shakes your hand.
All right. So he is now ghost contracted. You and your partner both bear an invisible mark of your oath. If either breaks the contract, they take 3 harm cursed.
Okay. And the contract here is that you're going to put him in contact with Grackle, and he will not tell the Baron where she is.
If I am able to procure information to put them in contact, then if he makes contact with Grackle, he promises not to tell the Baron where she is without her explicit consent.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I have not heard from her in a few months, but I can reach out to a few people. Once I have more information for you, I will be in touch.
I appreciate it.
No promises, but I'll see what I can do.
All right. Well, it's been pleasant. I'm glad we had this time to catch up. And do you have any other questions about what we do here? You're always welcome back.
It is just so fascinating. I have some contacts that are involved in the scientific fields, and I myself do not have mind for it, but it is simply a wonder. So thank you.
You're quite welcome. And he stands and is like, escorting you out and stuff. And he says, I look forward to hearing from you again, Miss Salome, and I promise if I find myself with the time, I'll stop by the jewelry box as soon as possible.
Again, I know this is quite the busy time of year for you. No
Yes, it
worries
is.
at all, but I will let Glass know that you said hello.
Please do. Have a good evening.
You as well.
And you leave.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, I rolled a fortune roll to see which way the wind was going to blow on that one. I rolled a 1.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair.
So, some information gathered. Some of it helpful right now, some of it helpful for later. Where? Who else? Who else is doing some shit? Or y'all can discuss what Salome's learned, and then
Okay. Let's do a quick recap
Yeah.
on all the information that we have now.
The trains that come into Duskfall will go through Night Market. They will be heavily guarded, but they will not come that far into the city proper.
yeah.
that
So
part
It's going to
do
be
have.
at that station area, the staging area.
yeah, if y'all are interested, if you go to if you have your PDFs up or if you have the book up, page 309 of the book has a map of the Shattered Isles. And you can see the transportation network
Oh, okay.
there. So it shows obviously the routes over land are for trains, the routes over water are for shipping lines. So
We have two. We were discussing like the transfer between trains and ships, right?
mhm.
All right, so there's two potential. Either we take it off the ship, either we take it during the transfer, or we take it off the train, right?
Yes.
Like that's what we're
So-
looking at here.
What I see on the map right now is two great places to steal the that much oil, refined Leviathan blood from, and it is here and here on the map, right? Because
you're
we could
you're
just
looking
toss
at the city.
yeah, we're
Yeah.
looking at the city because we just toss the barrels off the side and into the water.
Yeah, if you're looking, so within the city, so this map is
Or-
within the city, within the barriers of within the confines of the city. That is a very short stretch of railway. So if you're looking at doing anything in that area, so here's kind of my thought on it. If y'all are like
Ooh.
planning a heist, that is the stretch of railway between the lightning barrier and the city. In which case, like, it's more public. It's a shorter stretch of like you'd have maybe a minute between until it makes it into the station. The most exposed areas for the trains are when they're traveling between the cities across the Deathlands. Not to say there's no protection, because they do have railjacks and people that are on the train to protect it during transport.
Mhm.
But also, you're going across the Deathlands. There's no civilization, there's no settlements or anything out there. It's just a stretch of train across wasteland. So you have more time in that stretch, but that would involve going out to the Deathlands.
Which Grackle does on a regular anyway.
Yeah, Grackle knows how to move across the
So,
Deathlands safely.
also, remind me, is it the refined Leviathan blood or the unrefined Leviathan blood that's extremely explosive?
So the refined is I would say the unrefined Leviathan blood is toxic. The refined Leviathan blood is more volatile.
Cool. So we shouldn't be throwing things around.
Yeah, I wouldn't recommend explosives in the vicinity. Of refined Leviathan blood.
Because if we can get to one of the staging station that is not in Duskfall, where it is the handoff from ship to train, we could pose as guards. And then when we get to a spot that is convenient for us to offload 3 drums, we can do that and maybe have Jackal, when she goes out on her Deathland missions, just grab them for us.
Yeah. So the closest area where it would change lines from being offload to from a train to or from a ship to a train, would be the city of Elysia, which is in the kind of southern part of the continent of the Isle of Acheros. that is pretty far. Like
Far
when
away.
Grackle goes Deathland scavenging, it's in the area around Dustfall.
Literally
Uh,
outside the city proper.
Immediate
Alicia is like
vicinity,
Yeah.
half a country away.
yeah,
City limits.
that would be a
Well, I mean-
long distance for y'all to transport Leviathan blood.
How many like train changes are there like outside of the city? Like, is there a possibility of like? I mean, looking at the map in the book it's very simplistic. It's all like this is where the train goes and stuff like that. But like,
Yeah.
conceivably there would be like switches
like way
and
stations
stuff.
and stuff.
Yeah. For
What-
switching things up.
Like between the cities or in the
Yes.
cities.
Suppose in the cities.
Uh,
I mean, either or, because
even-
that's a like from Elysia to Whitehall or Whitehall to Duskhall is a really long way for a train to go and no stops.
I have to like really like access like my knowledge of trains now.
Like, there's got to be way stations. There's got to be. I mean, depending on what the trains run on, there's got to be some kind of like refueling.
Yeah, there's oftentimes like some trains go faster than others, so like there are places where they like a slower train will like pull off and let a faster train pass them by and that sort of thing.
Or, we could just skip all of the planning and just hit the depot here in Night Market.
Good.
yeah.
You're
I'd
not
say
wrong.
there's pros and cons. If you do it, to answer the first question about like how many stops there are along the way, being the Deathlands, I don't imagine there being a lot of stops, but there are probably some small, like, because you can't, the protections that are needed, like in Dustfall, to keep people safe within like the lightning barriers, are have to be maintained. I would imagine there might be like a couple of small depots, small repair stations between, just in case something were to happen on the train, like between the cities, but no like big settlements, and nowhere that they would be like offloading anything at any point. The rail jacks that probably that work at those outposts probably switch out like when trains come through. They do like rotating shifts of like maybe a couple weeks at a time at those stations.
like Lighthouse Wikis.
Kind of, yeah. The trains run on like electric railways.
Electroplasm, that sort of deal.
So the
Right, but where are we going to get the Leviathan for the train jacking? Sid stepped away, so I was trying to make a joke.
So if you're, but yeah, I'd say there's pros and cons. Like in the city, you're closer to home, less, you don't have to transport things as far, more exposure. Between the cities, you have the dangers of like the Deathlands. It's a more hostile environment, but you're not dealing with the Bluecoats, and you're not dealing with as much of a response.
TSA.
Yeah.
We've got a boat.
We do have a boat.
I see a bridge.
Yeah.
That's
Do you want to go with my idea of chucking the barrels off the side
the
and into the
river?
water?
we are committing the cardinal sin of Blades in the Dark. We are trying to plan
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm trying to. It's really like where you're wanting to hit. Like,
Yeah,
I'm fine
that's
with
what we-
planning
like, what's the
where you want to
approach?
hit it. The approach is like, if the approach is getting on the train, and then planning
Okay.
on like getting it off at some point before it gets into the station, then
How about this? What if I do a scouting mission on the rails outside of the city in the Deathlands and see if that is a like
Viable
good-
option.
Yeah, if that is a viable option for approaching the train. And then
I like it.
let's let the dice
Ooh.
decide.
I like it.
If we can get a schedule, maybe we could also sabo the track so they have to stop just outside of Duskfall, and then we can just rob the train.
See what happens.
I have an idea based on how this goes.
Okay.
Cool.
all right. So you want to do some scouting in the Deathlands. Let's do that. So what are you thinking?
Survey roll, perhaps.
Okay. I'm
Survey a
amenable to
location or
that.
situation to understand what's going on. Sense trouble before it happens. Gather information about opportunities or exploits.
Love it. Okay,
Okay.
let's go ahead and roll that.
Yeehaw. I'm going out there. Risky standard.
Yes.
Got a 3.
3. Okay. Hmm.
That's not a success, is it? It's been a
No,
while
it's
That
since
not.
I
is
played.
not a
That's not a
success.
success.
No, that's not a
No.
success.
Shit.
Fucking just jumped by whatever I was hunting. Out.
No.
Moby Dick!
I thought 3, 4, 5. No, 3 is a failure, right?
No,
He's a
it's
Yeah.
failure.
4,
1,
5,
2, 3,
6.
4, 5,
4,
Yeah.
5,
6.
6 is a success.
Yeah.
I rolled a 3, 2, 1. That's
Oof.
A countdown.
losing mastery has been
I know.
it's
It's
been
been
a real
tough.
kick in the shins.
Hmm. Okay. So you go out into the Deathlands. Now you have the thing, you're immune to the effects of like you have that ability, right?
Yeah, I am immune to poisonous miasma from the Deathlands, and am able to subsist on strange flora and fauna there. And I also have +1 stress box.
Okay. Hmm. So Grackle, you head out on like one of your scavenging runs, use that as an opportunity to kind of stake out the railways. So the electric rails that the electro trains that run between the cities are like beacons on the way like across the wastelands here. The Deathlands are like gloomy, overcast, these miasmas that roll across the land. No the trees and the kind of like the vegetation out here is it by all accounts like looks dead. You've learned over your time out here that even though a lot of it appears to be dead, like gnarled trees and vegetation, they are like growing and like producing and stuff out here. There's like strange like shriveled fruits that grow on the trees. Like what appears to be dead has some form of like half-life to it. Moving and avoiding the clear signs, because like amongst these miasmas, like rogue spirits will wander with them, like dangerous old spirits that draw their energy from the Deathlands themselves. um Kind of glide across the wastes. You've learned how to like pick up on those and avoid being spotted by those, or at least avoid direct confrontations. um you follow the telltale signs of the railways that kind of glow across the coastline, heading south deeper into the Imperium, um, and get a pretty good sense of these trains running through. You've seen them come through multiple times. Big, like lumbering freight cars, some passenger cars as well, that glow brightly in the distance with this eerie kind of spectral blue glow to them, verging on the hue of like green. They kind of spark and kind of push the mists away as they proceed through like the residual kind of magnetism of the energy they produce, kind of forming almost a barrier against the spirit lands as well. um you you're trying to get a sense of like where the trains move through, like where they might slow down, like kind of uh, I guess, or I'll ask you, what are you looking for with the trains here?
I'm looking for potential opportunities to either jump on the train and like get us on it as a form
Mhm.
of approach before like they go through like the the gates or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm looking for potential opportunities to it's essentially like a point of entry and then like possibly a point of egress, like
Mm-hmm.
because like, or like, we could just like jump on the train at the depot and then like steal the stuff out in the Deathlands and then like that sort of thing. I'm looking for opportunities like to get on the train undetected or
Okay.
off the train undetected. Those two different things.
Yeah. So I'll give you this, even with a failure. Uh, you, as the train approaches Dustfall, or all the trains that you've seen approach Dustfall, there are a few curves as they approach the city where they seem to slow, like coming around a bend, kind of timing it out. When they get within about half a mile of the city, it takes them about like 20 minutes or so to actually get into the city. They're slowing their approach. There are a couple of bends where they're coming around, kind of navigating around the city to make it to night market. Um, so there's, and they aren't necessarily the high, like they're not moving at a very high speed here. Gives you you would say like best opportunity that you can think of is within that mile of making it into Dustfall before it makes it through the barriers of the city, where the train is the most exposed, without having the protections of like the city walls and the guards and everything that are at Gaddock Rail Station. So that is probably your best bet that you can see. Does that answer your question?
I think so.
Okay. As you're out here, and scoping this train out, you can see there are, as the train is slowing, you see one of these like mists, like the miasma kind of creeping up towards the train. There's like a breeze behind you that you see kind of like shapes forming out of the mist. There are as the train is approaching the city, you do also notice that there's kind of like a catwalk over the top of the train as well. And you can see movement of people walking along the top of the train with big like poles essentially that seem to be sparking at one end, and they kind of like jab out into the mist, and you see like a spark of electroplasm, and the mist sort of like retreats away. The You would know that these are the rail jacks that kind of protect the train during its transport. As that happens, the miasma that this fog of spirits sort of recoils away from the train, kind of tumbling outwards and washing across the waste, and immediately like a wave cresting near the beach begins to whelm towards you.
That's my sign to skedaddle. I try to get away.
Okay. I'm gonna have you you can make this just be a straight up resistance roll at this point, or yeah, you failed. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is gonna be a resist. So what's gonna happen? The spirits kind of come shrieking towards you as you are on horseback, or I don't know what you're currently on. If you're just
I don't have a horse. I think I'm just on foot.
yeah, as you're
We
on
have
foot.
goats for the carriage. Are you on a goat?
I also
I
don't
guess
think
I could be, but I don't know if the goats would be safe.
I don't know
No,
if
it's
they'd be
okay.
safe.
No, it's all good.
This wave, these rogue spirits, kind of like capsizing over you, shrieking. You feel the presence, is malevolent presence, washing over you. So if you're going to try to, I'm gonna put this as a level 2 harm that you're resisting.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to try to resist it, though, I will allow you to either do a resolve or a prowess. Or no, which are the two I'm thinking of? Yeah, resolve or prowess. So prowess would be like hightailing it, running, trying to physically avoid it. Resolve is like trying to withstand it.
Okay.
With our fun little thing, we are allowed to assist with rolls at any distance, correct? Like one of us could just have a
I think
moment.
we take a stress doing that.
We'd still have to because we're helping, yeah. So if we assist, we have to take stress. But
That's a good question. Let me look at her.
Don't worry about it. I've got 4 in prowess.
you sure?
Yeah, I'll be fine. Famous last words. The consequence here is that I lose stress. A resistance roll, like
yeah,
the
you've
fact that I'm
negated
rolling
the harm
means
yeah, but you'll still take
by
stress.
resisting. Yes.
Okay.
And like this worst case scenario, I just come into the job with less stress. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is honestly a very controlled situation. I got a 5.
Okay. So you only take 1 stress for that.
Okay.
Okay.
So you take the opportunity to just book it, to flee from these spirits, and you're able to.
Like, I think she just like rolls down a hill, just like
Yeah.
she fucking jumps off the plateau and just like foopita.
And you book it back to the city.
Hits a Deathland cactus, hits a boulder, hits a Deathland redwood log, off another precipice into the center proper.
You miss a rodent of unusual size. They're about to attack you, but you just roll by too fast.
What's the sweet? There's like a tradition where you roll a giant wheel of cheese down a hill and you chase after it.
Yeah, it's in Switzerland, and it just happened like last week.
And right now with Grackle.
Okay. Well, there's
I'm fine. Also,
Grackle got some
Deathlands.
information.
Yeah, Deathland's probably not the best place to hold up the train. As it turns out, that's the place where they are most on guard. Go figure.
Well, that was by land. It sounds like by sea, aka by river, might be our best bet.
Could I do a study then for like shipping manifests and stuff to try and time when the next shipment is gonna be?
Like when the Leviathan Bloods come in? Yeah.
Yeah.
That would definitely help.
Okay. Risky standard.
Yes.
4. It's good to be back.
We have not had a single 6 this entire episode so far. Holy
I'm
shit.
loving it.
Don't worry, we're gonna get 6s during the heist.
I'm gonna keep this one pretty simple.
It's a dress rehearsal.
You can get the manifest that you need to, but you need to bribe somebody in order to do it. So it's gonna take a coin in order to pay someone off to get these manifests.
Can do.
Take mine.
Oh, okay.
I'm loaded.
Oh yeah, that's right. You're rich.
All right. But yeah, so you're able to get the manifest. You have a good. This is the there's I think a way I can make this like super exciting. You know when the shipments are coming in.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, okay, cool. They do it like once every couple of months, and it's right around this time.
It's pretty regular. Once, I'd say about twice a month, because a month's about 6 weeks. You get the yeah. We went through that last time. It's 6 10-day weeks in Dustfall.
Utter hell.
There's 6 months to a year, 60 days to a month. If I remember right. So, but yeah, so about twice a month, like clockwork. You have a shipment of Leviathan blood coming in, and you know about the time that the next shipment's going to be coming in on.
I will divulge this information to the rest of the crew.
What's the time limit that we're dealing with again?
So if
Winter
you
solstice?
oh yeah, as far as like when you need this stuff by.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the end of the month. So I think I was mapping that out about like 3 weeks.
Not a lot of time.
Not a lot of time.
With the manifests and everything that we have, I'm assuming these trains are like named or have numbers or something like that.
Dick my butt.
Yeah, trainee make train face.
Yeah. Yeah, that's all they're all named. It's trainee make train
Knowing
face, trainee Vaughn train face, trainee Mac train face.
I want to come back around to an hour ago when I told you I was gonna prowl around the train station.
Oh, yes, sorry.
With all this information, if we have the manifests of like which trains are going to be coming in, I want to get some information about the trains themselves. So we can rob the one who's had the most mechanical problems or is the
Okay.
oldest.
Okay.
In the next month,
Okay.
the next few weeks.
I
I go train hopping.
Yeah. You can do that. So gather information. You want to do it with a prowl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Prowl around and see which train's gonna be the easiest to hit.
Lovely. So go ahead and do a prowl roll, risky standard.
Risky standard. That's a 5.
5 makes success. Okay. So you you prowl around Gaddock rail station, which isn't hard to do because this is like there's like the that's what I'm looking for. Not commercial transport. There are civilians that make like this is a railway for both like cargo and civilian transport. So there's
Passenger
plenty of people.
trains.
Passenger trains. Thank you. There are passenger trains that come through here. Lots of people coming through. It's pretty easy to kind of just like slip in to the crowds and get an idea before you're dodging out to some of the like off limits areas that more of like the staff work out of. So you are it's very busy around Gaddock Railway. You get there's a lot of traffic coming in and out. There are some you can see there is distinction between the ones that are going into like the warehouses that are being unloaded for the supplies cargo that's being brought into the city. And then the passenger trains that are being brought into the rail station and people coming in and off traveling to nearby cities. There is in the rail yard, you can see like servicing for the trains coming through. There are, again, trying to think of a fun way to give this information, but I really can't think of a great way to do it.
It doesn't have to be exciting. I'm just riding a train.
You find the Mugen train that Demon Hunter or Demon Slayer. Stupid joke.
Fucker sitting there eating box lunches screaming, delicious!
Delicious.
Delicious!
You do hear as you're sneaking off talking to some of the staff that you kind of listen into some of their conversations on, complaining a lot about some of the older model trains that are giving them fits that need to be replaced and waiting for the ministry to either replace some of these older trains that they're just trying to keep limping along. So you do find that there are some. I think I'm gonna do a fortune roll to see whether one of these trains would be the one coming through around the time that you need, because you are at a time crunch here. Does that sound acceptable to you?
I mean, I guess. Spend 5 minutes explaining it to me and then saying, sorry, that was for nothing.
No, it's not for nothing. I have more information to give you too. But because this is a mixed success, I'm going to leave it up to.
No, I think that's fair.
I'm going to leave it up to a bit of fortune here. I'm going to do 2 dice, and you want a high roll. 2 dice because this is not because taxes and government bureaucracy.
Fair enough.
Let's see. 2 and a 5. Okay, so mixed success.
Pretty good.
Yeah, the train towards the end of the month, it looks like there's a one of the liners that's coming in is an older one that's like going to be decommissioned with it by the end of the month. You hear them like talking about it. And that one will be arriving in the next I'll say the next week. With cargo. With a mixed success, though, I'll give you something else here. That is information to have, but maybe not good information. Amongst the security around here, you see the we're gonna say this. So mixed success. I had an idea. You learn that this train number 6. I don't know. How do you name trains?
However you want.
Thomas.
I am not a train nerd. I don't know. They go and they stay on the rails usually. It's bad if they go off of them.
I know all these things too.
Well, how do
there's
they name
someone out there
trains?
in the chat that really likes trains that's really mad at me right now because I'm being so derisive about trains.
Trains are great.
So
We should
what
have
you
more of
learn
them.
is this train with the next cargo shipment, this decommissioned Freightliner is going to be coming in towards the end of the month or in the next week, and would be a pretty good target for you. Like I said, it's in the process of being decommissioned. This is gonna be its last run, and it being an older model train is probably gonna have some.
A model train? What is this, a train for ants?
Is gonna have maybe some more issues, but at that same time, they're also preparing for a high-ranking dignitary of the Imperium will be arriving in Dustfall around that same day, and they're preparing the additional security at Gaddock Rail Station to accommodate that. It's like one of the noble houses of the Imperium has a important emissary that's going to be arriving in Dustfall around that time. So maybe
On
not
the
the
same
best.
train?
That
seems wild.
let me roll and see if it's going to be the
Why
same
would
train.
you
or just
ride
the
on
same-
the freaking Leviathan blood cargo train? Is he insane?
Well, it's again, these are very large trains that have passenger cars and
they
like
do
cargo
both.
transport.
At-
Yeah.
They do both at the same time.
They can,
Not
yeah.
just that they do both.
Mm-hmm.
Much of the folklore and the romance of the rails are reflected in freight train nomenclature. Train names in many instances relate to the railroad history, the region in which it operates, or the nature of its traffic.
Okay.
I'm just gonna roll a d6. I'm gonna roll a fortune roll to see if he's coming in on the same day or the same train or just that same day.
This will be the failure.
A lot of mixed successes. Okay, we're gonna say the same day, not the same train.
Okay. I will pass that along.
But I'll say with that, he's going to be arriving with the mixed success. I'm gonna say he's coming in on a train after yours is scheduled to arrive. So the security will still be here.
Okay.
Cool.
Did you say not the same train or same train?
Not the same train.
Not the same train.
It's the train next.
Train after.
That's pretty lucky for us. They might be distracted by the other train. Ooh! I just had other thoughts.
Me too. I don't like that there's a dignitary coming into town.
Oh, I
Can't
thought
worry
about
about him
like
right now.
threatening the dignitary train as a distraction.
True. I have the perfect thing.
So, with all of this information, could change your approach, how y'all want to deal with this, but I'll give you all a little time to think about it, and we'll go ahead and take our break in the meantime. So, thanks everyone out there for watching. We're gonna take a short break here, come back to heist a train at some point. Don't know how the heist is going to happen yet. We're going to figure that out as we go. So stay tuned, and we'll see you back here in a few minutes. See you then. And welcome back, Internet. Thanks for hanging out with us while we took our break. We're going to go ahead and jump right back in. So we've done our information gathering. Y'all kind of have a sense of like a couple ways you could approach this now. We're kind of cut back to the jewelry box while y'all are in your planning stages around your table and stuff, because I think Fume has something that he wants to go over with the group before we start planning this job.
So, quick thing to everyone here. I was able to inscribe the inside of at least my brother's hull with the correct incantations and rituals to spare him the brainwashing of the Baron just in case things were to go wrong. Considering this body of mine is more combat capable, there were some complications in doing the whole inscribing process. That's why I went a little nuclear with things. And he puts a pocket watch on the table and slides it across to the three of them. This is a remote kill switch. Activate it, and this body goes inert.
Just inert.
Just inert. Well,
Can it be taken out of inert at a later time?
I've left instructions with my brother.
This is in case the Baron takes over you.
Yes. It was... The creation of the hull wasn't the hard part. It was designing a functional way to disable said hull without damaging the soul stone to a point where my spirit is lost.
How heavy is this body?
He hops up and down a little bit. About 175 wet.
Alright,
Why?
just checking.
Why? What? Why?
Well, if I have to carry an inert body out of a dangerous situation, I want to know if I can bench it.
Can you? Oh, that's a stupid question. Of course you can.
Oh, all right.
So, needless to say, my life is literally in your hands.
Who do you want to hold on to it?
Anyone. I trust the three of you.
I suppose whoever breaks off with you, should a need arise, should be the one to hold on to it.
Whoever breaks off with me should get the leash.
We know how we all feel about leashes, so perhaps we don't call it that.
I was going to make a joke about whatever floats your boat, but I understand now.
Quite right.
Whoever holds the pocket watch. Let's go heist a train.
Guess that's what we're up to.
Okay.
Fortune roll.
Fortune roll.
Whew.
So let's talk about scores, baby.
War time.
Let's do.
I have
the-
100 points.
Well, Van is winning, so
Yay!
yeah. If y'all haven't been keeping score this whole time, then you're way behind the game.
Seriously.
Get on my level.
So, what is our approach?
Train.
Train. Okay.
Train.
That's the secret sixth option on the list. Is train.
That's a downtime activity, actually.
Oh, that's right. We
God
skip
damn
straight to downtime.
Stealth.
Stealth, yeah.
Okay.
Or is this a trance? No, because we're trying to get on. It's more
I think
stuff.
the
It's more
transporting
stealth.
is secondary.
Yeah.
We're
This is
robbing and
more
not
stealth.
smuggling.
That's the theme.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is the
I feel like
theme.
if we're doing a transport, we already own the thing that needs to.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
makes
if
sense.
y'all had like gone to another city, bought this stuff, and we're trying to get it back, that would be like a transport score. It's like
Cool.
Defending our goods from
Yeah.
whatever.
This is
transport is like if we're good tower defense.
Got it.
This is a sneaking mission. I think.
Sneaky.
Yeah. So stealth, trespass unseen. So the detail then is the point of infiltration.
Can you really trespass on a train?
Yeah, if you don't have a ticket.
Shh.
Got you there.
The final boss is the really ripped conductor.
Don't trains have like? Don't they have the same thing as boats, where like there's like
International waters or
yeah, like
whatever.
are train tracks like international waters? Like are the rules different?
Well, no, because they go through land.
But they're
As
not
opposed to like I
on
don't know
the
a
land.
road.
They're hovering slightly off of
I
the
would
land.
say, tell me, does any of the train actually touch the land?
Their infrastructure, I suppose. So like
So
Are the tracks part of the train? I guess is the question.
so you're saying that trains are closer to airplanes than you said they
I
are
was
skywalk.
saying they're close to boats, but
Nothing
Yeah.
is technically touching the
It's
ground.
like-
It's your atoms.
have you guys ever
There is,
thought
like-
about if there was like an airplane but it was on the ground?
Is a magnetic is a mag train a plane then?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know how magnets work.
I mean, there are
Who knows? How do they
rail
work?
laws. There are laws to obey on the rail.
Okay.
Is there like a sky warden, but for the train?
Yeah, train warden.
Yeah.
Sky marshal,
Train
sorry.
I mean, yeah, in this
Train
universe
marshal.
there is. There's
It's a
rail
train marshal.
tracks.
How are we
I'm
getting on
saying
this
is-
train?
I know
So how are you
very
getting? What's the
little
point of
about
infiltration,
trains.
y'all?
The magnets, clearly.
I really like the idea of like infiltrating it on one of the bridges, just because we have a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Might as well utilize it.
So
I
we're-
feel like that's the point where their guard is going to be low because they're not going to be anticipating anybody coming from the water. Like they've just
Yeah.
gotten in through the barrier.
We do
like, they
have line
probably-
launchers too to just hop onto the bridge
Yeah, we
from the
could-
boat.
We can straight up grappling hook our way onto a train.
Okay.
Could I have beforehand saboed the train tracks just ever so slightly to just disrupt the power to give us enough time to get onto the train?
That sounds like a flashback.
Spend some drain for that.
So, we will have to deal with that once we get started.
Okay.
So let's do our we'll do our engagement roll and see where we're at, and then
This
you can
one's gonna be
immediately
the
do a flashback.
6. I can feel it.
Come
can feel it.
in.
So,
It's been hiding.
One
Past
die, one die for sheer luck. Is this operation particularly bold or daring?
We're about to do a train heist
This is-
on a bridge in
Yeah.
city limits.
Yeah.
pretty.
It's pretty
true.
bold.
That
Yeah,
one,
it's pretty
while
bold.
you're
I
asking
feel
your
like that question's
questions,
really subjective.
I've sent you the NPC name that chat just bought for you.
Oh,
Hey!
Ayo.
No, this one's good. This one's good.
no. Okay, I want to make sure it wasn't the same one that I got last time.
Train to McTrain face.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Fun. Thanks, chat.
Thanks, chat.
I need to know if you can get a clarification for me.
Yeah.
Is that first name a title or
Yes.
their name?
No, that's-
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah, you know what that
Yeah, I just
title
want to make
is.
sure is like that's not that. I just want to make sure that that's
I'll keep an eye out for chat to tell me I'm wrong, but I'm assuming that's title, first name, last name.
okay. All right, I can deal with that.
Yes, title.
Got it.
Confirmation.
Let's. Okay, so
This one's
where
fun.
was I? Yes.
Sorry, I
can
didn't
work
know
with
it
that.
was gonna. I thought I was just gonna send it to you. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to just
That's
make
my
sure. You never know. Weird fantasy names. Okay, so
Name is
we're at 2
Train
dice.
McTrain face.
Is this operation overly complex or contingent on many factors?
Yeah.
I don't think overly. Get
Just
it's
get in,
on
get
a
out.
rail. Get on. Get on.
I
Throw
mean,
barrels. Get off.
I was gonna say I think it's contingent on not on one very important factor, and that's timing.
Yeah.
That's true, but not
mean,
many
we've
factors.
established
so-
that-
But I think
We
yeah,
established in the very first episode that trains are our comfort zone.
we
Like,
are good at trains.
Okay,
We are good
so
at
I won't.
trains.
I won't take away a
Yep.
die for that.
train stuff.
Does this plan's detail expose the vulnerability of the target or hit them with their weakest? I don't think so. I
Train
think
on
this
a
is.
Pretty
Pretty
heavily guarded train on a bridge.
It's not.
Bridge
it's
is
not.
a weak spot for trains.
I will say it is not where it's weakest. There are areas where they would have been weaker to approach, but it would have been more dangerous for y'all to
Fair
do
enough.
this.
Fair enough.
So
We're not going out into the Deathlands. We're not immune like Grackle.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is the target?
What was
Who
that?
was that?
The dog is gone, so now the cats are fighting each other again.
Angry.
Oh, okay.
Guys, chill out.
Oh,
That was such a
buddies.
good
Frankie's
sound.
just noisy. It's not.
Okay.
Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have any particular defenses or special preparations?
Guards. Lots of guards.
I don't know. And
but it's not
again,
a special preparation. Like, this is pretty standard for them.
yeah, they do have. They're like again. I'm trying to take these like at face value. I don't think this is the approach they are strongest against. And I don't think it's they don't have special preparations for this. There are defenses and stuff they have in place for this, but I don't think so. I won't take away there for that. Are there any friends or contacts to provide you aid or insight for this operation?
A few.
So I'm not counting Captain Pansia because he specifically did not have anything specific for the train. If you had gone after a different thing, like more information, he gave you some insight, but I don't think it was specific for like what you're all doing right here.
We could bring our
Slept with the conductor.
we could bring our skulks on this job for extra support.
Because again, it's not have you had any help from friends?
No, it's
can you get
Yeah,
it?
yeah. You're already getting the extra die because Salome did her gather information and with Captain
Yeah.
Pansia and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
so it's can any friends or contacts provide any aid or insight for this operation?
Our
So
skulks could definitely help out.
if you're wanting
Right.
to, that would be another flashback thing. If you all want to do that at the beginning to have them doing something to help with this, you can
Are they-
definitely do that.
Are they considered friends or allies if they
I think they're
work for us?
It's friends or contacts. I think it falls under friends or contacts. For this, I think your cohorts.
I think
would.
our best bet with the skulks is for them to cause some mischief out in the town to lessen Blue Coat patrol towards the train tracks.
Yeah, again, all things you can do. We can do that with a flashback once we do our engagement roll to see where you want
Sure.
to go. But you do have people on hand.
They can pretend to be protesting the arrival of the dignitary.
Nice.
Are any
Or
any-
just protest the arrival of the dignitary. They don't have to pretend, I guess.
are any enemies or rivals interfering in this operation?
Better not. we're gonna have a train.
We're coming after you next.
Uh,
We're not at war with anyone. There's no one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What's Chief Helker up to? Oh wait.
Oh man.
yeah, I'm gonna say no for that one in this moment. Are any other elements you want to consider? So this is the one that might get you here is that this is the transportation is handled by the Ministry of Preservation. They are a tier 5.
Oh my god.
So they are a higher tier. The Railjacks are a lower tier, but that's not really who you're going after here. It's more of the transport side.
Split the difference.
I don't know if it works like that.
I don't think it works like that.
Listen, I'm just suggesting.
I'm gonna take away a die because again, this is pretty
big.
We're hitting the
stuff.
government
You're hitting the government directly. This is probably the most
and
overt
potentially
job.
someone else's government.
Yeah. So it reduces to 2, and you get an additional die because of Salome's thing, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. Okay. So you're at 3 dice.
3 is
Which-
good.
Yeah, we've worked
Three's
with less.
Work with plus. So I'm gonna do a
Double
3
6s, baby.
3 die fortune roll, and hopefully
in
they're
there.
not all ones.
No, I know it's in there.
Part of the cards.
Now there is technically a 6 in there.
Yeah.
Why are our rolls so bad today, y'all?
Today it's bad.
Today are
But,
bad.
You know, the
Chat.
fortune rolls is gonna be all the run up's gonna be bad. Set us up for adversity to overcome. We
We've
will
done
rise above. We will
this before.
rise like a phoenix from the ashes. This is gonna go great.
Maury, sit down.
Oh, oh sorry.
We've done
Have some
more
tea,
with
have some
less. We've done more with less.
Put my hat back on.
That was a 3.
Yes, for those of you at home.
That was a 3.
That's fine.
We have not rolled a single 6 this session.
We've failed these before. Maury's right.
Okay.
Listen, he shows up
So,
every now and then.
just
I
for the-
like
Something about the power of friendship.
I like it.
Bad result. You're in a desperate position when the action starts. I'm
You
gonna
guys
do.
seen Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter?
Oh no!
I am
There is
normally
a
not.
train scene.
I normally don't have like when we're in a situation with this. I'm normally trying to think like too many steps ahead when we're doing the bad result. This one, I am just gonna start as in media res with where we're at this point, and then we can start doing flashbacks and things y'all want to do. Let me change the music
Fucking
because
bridge explodes.
God.
Oh no, an assassination attempt.
Assassin.
Maybe
This
I should
isn't the music
shut my
that I
mouth and
want.
stop giving you ideas.
this is it. Yeah, we'll go with this one.
It is. Let it play for a second.
Yeah. There is a screeching to the rails as the train lurches underneath you. The waters of the dark, inky waters of the canal beneath the train, as panic shouts and screams throughout the train begin to sound. Passengers rushing to nearby cars as the open windows, the open doors to the back of the car, wind rushing in and out that you have just pushed through. A small column of smoke angling up from Grackle's gun as she has it pointed at the leg of a railjack who charged just after entering the train, bleeding out on the ground, writhing in pain. Panicked sounds all around you as the train lurches to a stall, causing you to sort of stagger forward a bit as panic kind of cascades down the line of the train. What
Oh
do you
shit,
do?
we didn't do load.
Oh yeah, our load. I'm doing I mean, we're getting on here, so I was gonna say a heavy load for Fume.
I'm at normal.
I'm gonna do normal too, just in case.
This ain't
'Cause-
incognito.
Yeah.
Can't decide.
I can't decide where. Sorry.
Are we inside the train or
You
on
are
top of
inside
the
one of the
train?
cars of the train. You
With a man shot in the leg.
a man shot in the
With
leg.
Maury.
Passengers rushing ahead of you into the. His name is
His
Maury.
name is Maury. It has to be.
His name's
see it?
Morrison.
Okay.
You see a man in a rather dapper business suit,
Ties
Oh,
over
my
too wide.
leg!
going, "Fuck, not again."
I'm not planning on being seen. I'm just gonna go heavy, and
Do it.
Okay.
I never get to do heavy.
We can do flashbacks now, if
Okay.
anybody would like to do a flashback.
Shit.
Fume's pulling his mask on.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm gonna do a flashback, but I may use a load already. First things first, I'm gonna ask the guy shot in the leg, can you swim?
Not with a shot leg.
He looks like he's just, not anymore.
Ooh.
Let me see. Can I use subterfuge supplies, especially since we're going water-wise? Can I just want to give this man a floaty before I turn into him and throw him off the train.
Oh. What if we? Oh, a floaty. Here's
I don't want to kill him.
idea.
I don't want to kill
Here's
him.
a
He's
cool
just
idea.
Pulls
line
out
of
a
fire.
life jacket.
Yeah,
Let's-
I mean, basically.
Like we could put like a bungee cord on him and just like attach a grappling hook to the
Hang on.
bridge. So he's just like
I just don't want anyone to see him. Like, if someone like looks out, they'll see him hanging there. Like, they're less
Yeah.
likely to bother with anything
Plenty
in the
of
water.
people have seen him at this point. You are in a
I already walk
So
with a
what-
limp. It's perfect.
Which kind of train car are we in? Like where?
you're in a passenger car.
Okay.
oh.
And Grackle just shot
Is
a
that
guy.
what is that what
Yes.
went wrong? Is
That's
that
what
like,
went
we were-
wrong. You
we were
opened the
supposed to get into
door
a cargo
into
door,
the
and it was
passenger car.
passengers
One of the
instead.
rail jacks charged you. Crackle
Okay.
shot him.
Okay.
All right.
While this is going on, then I'm
Yeah.
gonna skulk. And I'm gonna lock the doors.
Okay. Yeah, you can lock the door behind you pretty easily. Getting to the one in the front that people are rushing out of. Are you trying to just like follow up the end of the people that are rushing out and then close the doors behind them?
Right, because they're already running. Yeah, whoever gets out, gets out. Whoever doesn't is stuck in here with me.
Okay. Let's do.
I don't want
I think this is
17
mostly-
people running out going, there's criminals on the train.
This is mostly a matter of speed. You're trying to do this before anybody else gets into their car to attack you, right?
Yes, or out of the car to snitch on us.
Okay. Then yeah.
I just launch myself.
Probably I gotta pull up the list here.
Prowl is climb, swim, run, jump, tumble.
Yeah, I'd call this an obstacle you're traversing. So yeah,
Hell is other people, am I right?
desperate standard.
Please don't fail. That's a 6.
Woo!
There we go. You push through a lot of people rushing out. Some of them have fallen back into their chairs, like their hands up, like they're in their seats, panicked, screaming. You run forward, slamming the door shut, and then engaging the lock on it. As you're hearing commotion from the other side, like you look through the window here as you close the door, and you can see about 5 or 6 more rail jacks kind of pushing through the crowd, trying to push back into your car.
All right, nobody move. Nobody say anything. We're not here to hurt you, but we will.
You just see like a bunch of panicked people kind of holding their hands up, shaking in fear. Are you trying to like take control of the car here?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all going to be quiet and not panic. And the more you can help out, the more likely it is you'll leave unharmed.
I'd probably call this a command roll.
Yay.
We'll say this is still desperate. We'll say desperate standard. Or
Let's look and see if I have
desperate
anything for
standard.
this.
How's your command?
I
Do
mean,
you want some?
It's not great.
Do you want some assistance on this?
Sure.
I will assist.
I was looking at my abilities to see how fucking dramatic I wanted to be.
Was it was it standard effect or it was standard effect, right?
Desperate.
Des was standard.
Okay, I'm adding a dice to that roll then.
Okay. I will. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna push myself.
Okay.
I'm the big scary gas mask person that
Yeah.
shot somebody.
Oh yeah, we're all in masks. I think that's fairly.
That's fair.
Yeah.
You're doing a train robbery.
Yeah.
I got a 5.
5. Okay. You seem to have control of the situation. Everyone in their seats, keeping their hands up. There are a few people that you can see kind of like eyes darting around. Like you don't have a good sense of like how long you'll have control over the crowd here before they start to panic again.
Yeah, since Grackle's right behind me, looking scary, I just very, very, very quietly. They're not gonna hold out for long. Some of them are looking a little frisky, so let's get a move on.
Do we know which way the cargo is?
Probably back.
Okay. In that case, we're going to make our way to the back door, and hope that nobody interferes.
Okay. Anybody else? Salome, did you want to do something with the guy on the floor still, or?
I do. I want to under my for right now under my mask. I'm gonna use my Thousand Faces necklace and I'm gonna turn into him.
Okay.
I would like to use either from demolition or subterfuge supplies something for him to float with because I don't want to kill him.
Okay.
Just wrong place, wrong time.
You can spend the load to to have something to give him to float with.
Yep.
You just push him out the.
Oh no!
I
What's your name, son?
It's Leroy.
Jenkins of the Jenkins family.
Have we met?
No, I've just I know of your family by reputation. Can I slip him a coin?
Yes.
Cool. Okay.
For his medical expenses.
Yeah.
When he
Also,
drops from a train bridge into the
I
water
should have
and
named him Wilhelm.
breaks
Oh,
every
that would have been
bone in his
perfect.
body.
No, Leroy Jenkins sounds good.
Can I pop up next to them as they're talking and just go, I'm terribly sorry, but you've thrown off the Emperor's groove.
No one understands that reference.
No.
It's for
But,
me.
You slip him a coin.
I slip him a coin. I say, no hard feelings, Mr. Jenkins. But hopefully this helps take you on a little bit of a medical holiday.
I do.
How far above the water are
Huh?
You want to know if it's survivable?
we? Yes,
Do you want me to roll for it?
because the coin might not be worth it if he's gonna.
It's a fortune roll.
I'm just gonna do a fortune roll. See if it's. I'm gonna say you're like. 60 feet up.
That's really
Oh, it's fine. The upper limit for
60
human tolerance is
I
100
was about to say
feet.
60 feet up. People jump off of fucking like cliffs higher than that,
I'm
and
just
they're
gonna roll-
fine.
I'm gonna roll a die, and I'm just gonna be fortune roll. I'm gonna say this is a little bit outside the standard of the game. It's a 1. He dies.
I mean, the bigger concern is whether or not the eels are attracted to the blood of his gunshot.
Oh my god, no!
Okay,
died.
but
You
no!
put the coin in his pocket. You say, I hope this covers your medical expenses. You push him out of the train. He falls. He smacks in the water, and you don't see him come back up. You hear the bells toll in the distance as birds begin to circle around the train.
Maybe I should never have left the basement.
We're having a rough go of it.
Well,
I
I'm
will
really
admit-
glad we cleared our heat before this one.
I will admit that is not what I intended to happen.
Oh, Val, he doesn't hit the water. He hits like
No,
the
stop!
No,
It's
no,
it's
no,
bad
no.
enough as it
Okay,
is. It's
okay.
bad enough
No,
as it
thank
is.
Oh,
Yeah, chat
It's-
chat is saying what I'm saying. There's a big difference between a controlled jump and whether or not someone gets pushed off a goddamn train.
Yeah, and that difference is about a 20% or no, wait, 1 in 6.
Cliff divers are gonna hit that shit feet first every time.
Yep. All right.
I'm really sorry,
Oh
y'all.
my
That was
God.
not how I intended that to go.
it happens.
Yeah, you know, like, that wasn't your fault.
It happens.
No, it was absolutely my fault, but it's okay.
The dice tell
So
the
funny.
story.
The dice tell the story.
And here I was like, I'm not gonna have them just like, I'm gonna make this a desperate situation, but they're not gonna have killed this guy. They're just shot in the leg. Like I'm not gonna
I
give you all the
didn't
heat. I'm not gonna
mean
put
to!
that
Last
murder on
time,
you, Ricky Bobby.
he-
I was
People
trying
died.
to save his life.
Because our last job, people died and it wasn't our fault, and we
Yeah.
had no control over it, and we still took heat from.
Yeah, and so I was like, you know what? I'll be nice this time. There won't be a bunch of killing that y'all did not cause. And then you immediately murdered the first.
I
man you
didn't mean to. Fuck. God.
meet. Anyway, the bells sound in the distance.
Motherfuck.
Last is just like, I told you.
You hear a dun, 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 at the door that glass just closed as they're trying to force the door open.
So like I said, hurry.
Yep. Grackle has waded through the crowd to make a path to the back door.
At least put me at gunpoint and make this sacrifice useful. She'll take off the mask and have the dude's face on.
Okay. So you have your fake hostage now. So you head back into the train. Yes.
I was just gonna say, as we're moving carts to get to the cargo hold, Fume is wrecking the locks on every single door to the back
Okay.
to
So you're trying
lock
to
them,
lock them and then break the lock so they can't get through. Okay.
or at least a tougher time too.
Yeah. Go ahead and do a rec roll.
Desperate?
I don't think we're in a desperate situation anymore. You've taken control of the people. You've locked the door. You have a little bit of breathing room.
Standard. Triple threes.
It's like going so bad.
You
It's
You
going
slam the door
so
behind you.
bad.
you slam the door behind you. You move back into the next car. This one does seem to be a cargo car, but you don't see barrels in here. It seems like there's some like crates and other things that they were shipping, but no people in this car. As you are like pushing back into this car, the door, you hear the door to the passenger car that you just closed, like beginning to break as they're trying to force it open. You slam this door shut. Fume, what do you use? You just like trying to smash the lock or something?
Whole body, just a fist to the lock, essentially.
You slam the door closed. It latches. You punch the lock with your whole fist to break it. It smashes in, dents inward, and as you step back from it, the door just slides back
Slides
open.
open.
Son of a bitch!
What are you all doing today?
As that happens, the door to the passenger car busts open, and the group of railjacks starts pushing through the car towards you.
Back. Let's go.
Yeah, we just move. We just hoof it.
Okay, so you're being pursued by the railjacks through the train as you're running back to the cargo car.
What is their weaponry like? It's those like long
Stun sticks.
Yeah, they essentially have like they've got these like collapsible poles that have like it essentially looks like glasses. I think you've got a railjack, like a lightning hook, right?
I do have a lightning hook, yeah.
Yeah, essentially they have lightning hooks.
It's that thing
as
I
their-
use to
Rope the spirits.
to
Yeah.
get that hole
Actually-
a million years ago. Yeah, it's like an extendable. You know
Actually,
those
a
things
fight
that
with
like
a lightning hook would be really cool because like it like pulls in, right? So like the thing about
Yeah.
trains is that you have such like limited space in like,
Mhm.
you know, the X direction, but in the Y direction you have so much like range. So
Mhm.
you could be like pulling that in to like flip it around and then just like
Yeah.
You know those things that with the loops that like animal control uses?
Mhm.
yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I
That's
think it's
my
something
brain.
like
the,
that.
like the
That's like-
collapsible ones, yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
I have an idea.
What do you do?
I was just gonna grab Grackle. How long can you hold them off for?
And you have a hostage right now if you want, or you have a hostage right now if you want to try to utilize that to get some distance too.
How long can you hold them off for without me?
As long as you need.
I'm gonna find the car. Keep him busy.
All right. Grackle's gonna set up an ambush.
Okay.
I'm gonna shift into the ghost field.
Okay. All right. So, Grackle is like, as you're heading into the next car, ducking around the side to ambush these railjacks as they come in. Glass vanishes into spectral mist and it disappears from sight. Salome, you're still disguised as a hostage. Are you staying, like, I guess you and Fume, what are y'all doing right now?
Fume's going to flick his wrist to the side and spring pistol, take Salome by the arm. I'm sorry about this, and hold.
Do what you need to do.
Pistol's unloaded, just for safety precautions, sticks it under the chin, and starts walking backwards, like visibly presenting himself and the hostage to the railjacks.
Okay. As you're stepping back, you see them kind of slowing down as they recognize that you're hostage there. Grackle is kind of off to the side in case they do end up pushing into this room. I think I need some sort of roll from Fume and Salome here to try to make this ruse work.
Okay.
I've got a 1 in command and a 2 in sway.
I've got a 3 in sway, and I can also do. I've got when you use a disguise, you get +1 roll to confuse or deflect suspicion. So I can use that too on a sway.
So what is Salome disguised as the railjack saying here to try to keep them occupied?
Do they say, please? They'll be on their way. They don't want trouble. I don't want trouble. Oh God, tell me, Mom.
God, I hope the one you're copying was likable.
Well, that's what
Me
this
too.
roll's going to determine. It's like,
I guess
fuck
so.
you, Jenkins.
I hope they don't come in here and they're like, God damn it, it's finally our time to get rid of Jenkins once and for all.
Wait, Jenkins, you said your mom was dead.
This is for microwaving fish in the break room.
Please, tell my wife I love her. I thought Jenkins was gay.
Please, for the love
You guys
of God.
laugh. but we have gotten so many bad
I'm
rolls.
so scared
I'm gonna
right now.
laugh so
The
hard.
Jenkins might be gay.
Sid, add 1 dice, because I'll assist with this.
You'll assist?
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
I almost want this to fail so hard.
Oh
I just
my
want to see
God.
how bad this goes.
Come on.
Going
It's
great.
going bad.
Please, for the love of God.
Uh-oh.
It's just a
Okay.
4, just even a 4 at this point. I
There's a
think we'll take.
5. I've got a
Okay.
5.
All right. The curse is
moving up.
lifted.
Coming back around.
2
Don't say
1s,
that.
2 1s, a 2, and 2 5s.
This is our cursed stream here.
The dice are no,
God.
they're waiting for the right moment.
They're waiting for the right moment. You say, the one steps forward. He's got the lightning hook. Kind of like they're about halfway down the train car before they slow down. Seeing Fume with your gun pointed to Leroy. The lost my train of thought there. As you are have your kind of like pleading with them to stay at bay, one steps forward and says, "Fucking hell, Jenkins, how'd you let this happen?"
They shot me. Limping.
And I'll do it again.
Is
It's like bleeding all over the ground. God damn it, Leroy! Why would you do this? How could you have done this?
We'll talk about victim shaming later.
the one steps forward, like looking at you, Fume, kind of closing like a bit of distance, but like very slowly, kind of tentatively. The Grackle, you can just hear the footsteps kind of like around the corner of this train car, like the entrance to this train car is from your place of hiding. It says, "Listen, son, you're not going to want to do this. You made this easy on yourself. You give up now."
Listen, I'm not getting paid enough for this. If I let him go, you let me go.
The guy thinks for a second, says, "Right, yeah, let him go now. We'll let you run for it."
Is he lying?
Is he
Yeah.
lying?
Oh yeah, he's lying.
Fume will take a couple of steps back so that it forces this guy to move within range of Grackle.
Okay.
And he will lower the gun. I have a question for you.
You see, like as you lower the gun, he begins to move forward, and Grackle, you see his silhouette coming in through the door. He says, "All right, what's your question now?"
Knock knock.
That's not a question.
Bam.
Do you like
Uh,
jazz?
Jazz.
I'm
Do you
gonna,
like concussions?
I'm gonna attack him.
You ever had a head injury before?
All right, Grackle. Skirmish or
Fire
prowl?
Yeah.
away.
Pardon
Yeah.
me. Does this smell like
Does it smell like chloroform?
Or
to you?
form to you?
Yeah, I'm just skirmishing. Like, I'm gonna hit. Like, I imagine that I'm like behind a door. I'm just hitting him with the door and then like starting the fight.
Smashing the door into them, and then yeah, okay, love it. Let's do this, and then Glass. It sounds like you're gonna have a lot of time.
Yay.
Okay. What risky standard?
Yeah, I think we're in a risky. We're in risky standards. It hasn't progressed back to a desperate yet, but you're not fully in control.
Cool. Here I come. 6, baby.
Hell
Yes!
There we go. Yeah, I think you slam the door into this guy, and then one quick punch, you just knock him the fuck out. As he crumples in front of you, the lightning hook falling to the ground. The small group behind him immediately comes rushing towards the door, trying to force. Are you holding the door in place, or are you backing off to?
Yeah,
face
sure.
these
I'll hold the
guys?
door in place.
Okay.
The less fighting I have to do, the better.
So, I have a thing I want to do. And I'm probably gonna have to use Hunt to do. Or no. Would it be a sneak attack was Prowl, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Magnitude 1 area,
Oh no.
which would also target a small gang, which is 3 to 6 people.
That's about this size.
One of the scariest things you can do in these types of games is name the tag that something has without explaining what you're gonna do with it.
Yeah.
It's like when we were playing Apocalypse World and always like, for
Fume-
harm, close, brutal.
Fume guides Salome behind him and points his hand outward like a gun, like finger guns.
Uh-huh.
The plating and skin peel back to reveal the machinery underneath it, and there is a orb of electroplasm that forms at the fingertips. He's going
Okay,
to
Yusuke.
Yeah, well, he's going to fire that off downstream, and will yell for Grackle to pull the door back.
Yep.
Okay.
She'll just step back into the crawl space that she was in.
Okay.
Pull the door open.
So you spend the stress. So you're doing
Magnitude 1. So I take 1 drain.
okay, just magnitude 1 area, and then the I've got to get up my
the
magnitude ones.
time, right? Duration
So it's-
and range.
Yes. So the duration will determine how long they're out for in this case.
So I'll also pick 1 for a few minutes and a dozen paces. So that would be 3 drain in total.
Okay. All right. I'm going to have you so you're going to roll. I don't know if this is proud because you're not really attacking from hiding.
They're certainly not expecting a
But
ray
they're not
gun.
expecting this. I'll allow it.
Thank you. Where is... I'm gonna push myself on this one too.
Okay.
Okay.
I
So
can
take
also give
three-
you a help. I have a freebie help. You're spending a lot of stress already.
It's fine.
So you're doing 3 drain for the attack plus
Oh,
another
push myself
2,
as 2 shit.
Yeah,
another 2 drains.
no.
That'd be 5 drain.
Let me give you a help.
Give me a help, please.
I'm gonna give you one of my freebie helps.
Plus 1. Critical, baby!
Yes!
Yeah, we are.
There they are. They've been hiding.
Okay. Grackle, you rip this door open as they're like pushing against it. The sudden opening of the door causes them to kind of stagger forward a bit as you leap back. Fumes, mechanical hand exposed, electroplasm coalescing around your fingers. You fire.
Salome's help is to just put a hand on Fume's shoulder and be like, 80%. 880.
Smile for the buddy!
As you fire this beam, it impacts the first guy and then explodes outward in this like stunning effect. You see all of them just see their skeletons through their flesh for a second as they are electrocuted, and in a smoking pile, the group of them have collapsed to the ground, kind of stunned and twitching.
Do you know in samurai movies where the main character will flick their blade to the side to whip off all the blood?
Yeah.
Fume does that with his hand, but the mechanisms close up around his hand.
You do that and the flesh rolls back over your fingers. That's terrible.
Yeah.
Salome throws up a little in her mouth.
It's like Bloodshot now.
Yeah,
Bloodshot!
Yeah, you kind of are. Okay. You see this group of Railtracks has been stunned. Everyone in the train car, panic, screaming. They all start running back to the front. Now that there's no one in there like threatening them, they're running to the front of the train to get away. But that's probably working to your benefit at this point to keep for any more backup from getting here. So with all that happening in the train car, Glass, you have vanished into the ether.
Yes.
And
So I spent
are
3 stress on this.
okay.
Where is Ghost Veil? 2 to shift, and then 1 extra stress to make it last longer. So I have like a few minutes instead of it just being like very temporary.
Does this let you pass through things, or
Yes,
you just
I become
just-
insubstantial.
That's rude. I think Glass is very substantial.
Thanks. That's nice. I become shadowy and it's substantial.
Okay. So you can sort of pass through the
Yeah.
doors without opening them. Okay. You pass back into the next car. More of the cargo here. Through the you know from the exterior view that you had of the train car that there were about like six cargo like transport cars here, but you couldn't tell from the outside what was in any of them. But you started the first one, you're making your way back. There's more, like you pass through like a luggage car and there's some other like cargo freight that they are carrying. um the Ooh, this is actually kind of interesting. With your ghost veil and your spirit sense and all the things that you can do to sense like energies and
There's so
spirits,
many now.
there's so many. I think you can actually sense like a high concentration of plasm that is being stored in this in this train. You like you kind of sense it from like the general like the electricity that's running through the electro train. But you definitely sense a high concentration of it, like closing in on you up ahead. So you get a good feeling that you're heading in the right direction.
Great. I'm
Um,
zooming.
the
I'm
Hmm,
zooming and I'm counting cars. She said, I said zoom in. She said enhance.
enhance.
And it was extremely funny.
I didn't want it to be left out.
It's really good. And it got me. Yeah, I'm zooming and I'm just counting so I can then ra radio back in and say this card, like which card is and what's
Okay.
in between.
Okay. Uh, you cross into what you think is the last is the like third to last car on the train, and you get a pretty good sense that maybe the next car is where the electroplasm barrels are being stored for shipment. Um, as you pass ethereally into this car, though, uh,
Actually,
there is something different in here.
I was muted.
Yes.
Are there supernatural entities in my presence? Because if so, I'm always aware of them.
Okay. Good to know. Um, as you pass into this car, you do like sense like actually maybe before you pass into it, I'm gonna give you the option. Before you pass into this car, you sense a profound distortion to the ghost field, like something beyond here that is not that is some sort of supernatural entity.
Yeah, this doesn't last for very long. I'm gonna go ahead.
Okay. As you pass into here, you are again, you're invisible, incorporeal, like so you don't
Technically, I'm shadowy. It costs extra to be invisible.
oh, so you're not invisible right now.
I'm not invisible,
Okay.
but I am insubstantial and shadowy.
Okay. Would you like are you essentially attempting to be unseen by anything that is in here right now?
I did spend the extra stress to make the effect last longer, so...
I'm gonna say you could just do a prowl
Yeah.
if that's the case.
Yeah, no, I was just thinking, do I want to take the extra time to sneak? But, yeah, I will try.
Okay. Go ahead and do a prowl for me then.
That's a 5.
Okay. Mixed success. I didn't say risky standard. Was for this one. You pass into this train car and it's not very brightly lit in here, but you are shocked to find people in this train car. There are 4 figures that are sitting, 2 sitting on each side of the train car, like on these essentially like like flight attendants on planes, like just the fold out seats from the walls that they sit on. So like two benches, one on either side of the train, are sitting there. They are wearing these black cloaks and cowls with this kind of red and gold like filigree across like this pattern across their these like sashes, or no, not sashes, they're not red sashes, but they're like embroidery on their cloaks that they're wearing. You can see them kind of nervously like looking, like they're still sitting there and they're kind of like looking up like towards the train car as you're entering, as they've heard gunshots and shouting and things. They don't seem oblivious to what's going on. Some of them are like speaking amongst themselves, but they're sitting on the other side. At the center of the room is a for kind of upright stone structure that has this intricate carving across the front. Is about 7 feet tall, about 2-3 feet wide, and it looks like some sort of like sarcophagus.
Okay. Is anybody in here like armed, or like are there guards in here, or is it?
You don't see any
these, like,
guards. You just see
these cowled folks.
Yeah, and they don't see, like, it's hard to tell. They might have something under their cloaks, not immediately visible weaponry. But as you, with a mixed success on your prowl, as you like shift in with this like smoky form, you see one of them kind of lurches backwards, like they see something. They may not know exactly what it is. And they turn to the other and say, "Do you see smoke? Is there fire?" As like they begin to stand and kind of panic a bit at this smoke that is now coming in from the train car ahead of them.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna talk to them. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna use my shadowy form. So I'll continue into the car and try to like kind of quickly go past them, but it doesn't say I can't talk. I'm still me. I'm just shadowy, not substantial. But I think it's just going past like, stay where you are. I'm not here for you.
Like lurches backwards, all of them, like hearing this voice, and says, "What are you, ill spirit?"
A friend. If you stand down and let my friends through.
I'm gonna go ahead and let you make a sway roll here.
Hoping the fact that they look like they were into the occult meant maybe they would listen. We'll see.
I was half expecting, like, where are they? Where are the drugs?
Where are the drugs going?
Where's Arisen?
6.
Captain. Nice!
6. Okay.
The other 2 were 1s.
Look, the dice gods took their blood already, and then now that they've been satisfied, we're
The
doing
ones were
okay.
just a threat.
Yeah.
I could do this again, you know.
They seem to hesitate from your words. Again, like they don't seem to know what to make of this, but you don't catch that you're speaking to a bunch of people that like are adverse to the paranormal. They just don't know what you are and what's going on right now. And
Sit
one of
down.
them turns.
Oh, go ahead.
One of them turns to the other and says, "Should we trust this?" And the other one says, "I don't know. Maybe we should wake the vicar and ask him." And the three, like the 4 of them begin to converse and amongst themselves. And the one that you were initially kind of speaking to says, "Let's wait a moment and see what happens."
Okay, you know what? I'll play along. I speak with truth. Sit. Make no noise. Pull no weapons. You will not be harmed.
With your 6, I think they're standing down unless something happens that causes them to become hostile.
I'm gonna keep going.
Okay. You shift through the train car, all eyes on this smoky, ethereal form that washes through the car.
Are the barrels in the next car?
You do if you shift out of this car to the next one. As you enter the next car, you can see stacked and roped together dozens of barrels of plasm.
I'm really pushing it here, but I'm gonna use our Bound in Darkness. That's what it is. To take a stress so my whispered message is heard by everyone, and tell them how many cars back, what's in each car in between, and then the people, it's the sarcophagus room with the people in it. They know you're coming. I've told them they won't be harmed. They shouldn't stop you. Next car back at the barrels.
We keep it going.
Okay. So the three of you push back following glass. The sounds of panic dying to the sounds of panic, or sounds of panic dying out, not panic dying. Sorry.
The sounds of panic, dying.
Look, emphasis is punctuation and emphasis are very important.
Yeah. You push through the cargo cars, eventually emerging into the car that Glass warned you about, where you see these cloaked figures, all kind of sitting to the side. Like, I don't think they're all sitting, like, two of them are standing, two of them are sitting, looking at you as the doors open.
Do we recognize anything like on the sarcophagus? Can like we do a roll?
Is it the
Like a
Church of
quick-
Exalted Blood?
Like a quick survey to be like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I feel like
Just as we pass by.
I just feel like we're in the second Underworld movie now.
I know, right?
Are they hauling a vampire a la,
The
World of
Vicar?
Darkness?
Is the
The
vicar
vicar.
in the sarcophagus?
I have a feeling he is.
Who's the vicar?
Who the fuck's the vicar?
The problem is I know the vicar's name.
Oh no! All right. Yeah, I want to do a quick survey if I can.
Okay.
Sweet.
Well, would it be survey or study? So survey, I guess survey gave you general sense of what is going on. Study is like to apply information and to gain like a deeper understanding. So like, if you want to understand like the sarcophagus and stuff and like what this is and all that, then that would be more of a study to like see if like it triggers any like knowledge. Survey would be like, okay, what's the read on the room here? What's the vibe I'm getting from these people?
Vibe check. Okay. I'm still gonna do a survey anyway, but I think as I'm being dragged as a hostage, I might poke Fume and be like, "The fuck is that?"
Sarcophagus, darling.
Fume is-
AKA Fume. Could you do a study on it real quick?
I can.
Okay,
yes.
cool.
If my there it goes. Cool. Yeah, I've got a
Fume's
set.
doing, like the dragging, and meanwhile, Grackle has like interposed herself between.
No,
Fume
I do have no
You
idea.
have no
what
fucking
this
clue.
is.
I did get a 6 on the vibe check though on Van's gift dice.
Nice. You were a bit quiet, Wings. Were you saying that you're...
Yeah, I noticed that it was little. Is that better?
Yes.
That is better.
Okay. All right. I swear to God, this box is like so sensitive. Like one notch on the old thing. Okay. I was gonna say Grackle interposes herself between Fume and Salome. And basically what she's doing is like they're circumnavigating the room. They're going around like the farthest part that they can. She has herself between them the entire time, just kind of like stalking like a cat.
Okay. Okay.
Sweet.
So you got a 6 on the survey. Fume, you got a
3.
3 on the study. Okay. Um, the uh, Salome getting kind of the read of the room. I would say these 4 people seem very concerned about your proximity to this sarcophagus. It seems they're like protecting it in some capacity. The As you kind of like approach towards it, they kind of like interpose themselves between you and it. The I will say with the survey, you get a sense of like just from their appearance and everything, you're assuming probably some affiliation with the church. Fume, as you take a second to move in, or kind of like study, like you're looking at the ruins like very closely and paying a lot of attention to it. And so I think one of them clocks that and push it like interposes themselves and says, "Who are you people?"
Getting out of your train car, that's who we are.
What business do you have on the train?
Well, here, none. It's the next car over, if you'll excuse us.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
You see they seem very concerned about it, and as you push through the train car, moving around them again, they don't seem to be interested in necessarily fighting you, but they look amongst themselves, and as you kind of make it to the back of the car, you see one of them looks to the other and gives a nod, and the one that he nods to moves around the sarcophagus, and you hear a grinding of stone as they seem to switch something. And the
I'm gonna just
sarcophagus-
stop talking for the remainder of the session. Everything I say is a bad idea. I'm just gonna shut the fuck up.
Well,
I think.
to be fair, this is a consequence of Fume's role here, and not
My
Which
necessarily.
I told him to do.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I
Yeah, that's on you.
try to stop him?
You want to try to stop him?
Yeah, I'm getting vibes that's bad. We don't want that to happen, actually. I think that's the kind of vibe I'm getting. Like, I don't Grackle's like on like a hair trigger, like she's waiting for any sign of like how do you say, a threat. And a big old fucking sarcophagus, like she's thinking like there's like a badass hull in there that's gonna come out and try and kill us. Like if she can prevent it from coming out, then that is a threat neutralized. She's gonna try and stop him.
Okay. What do you do to try to stop him?
Can I have like picked up one of those lightning hooks?
Yes.
I'm gonna just like flick it out and like deploy it and try and shock him before he opens the
Cattle prod
sarcophagus.
him.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right. I will allow that. You can't. Is this gonna be? I think. Let's see. I think it's a prowl, ambush with close violence, backstab,
Okay.
throat cutting, blackjack.
Yep. I don't hate that. I can do it.
Okay.
I'm going for it.
All right.
I'm gonna risky standard.
I'm gonna say desperate.
Okay.
Standard.
I don't mind. 6. I got a 6.
Okay. With a 6, you, as this guy moves and you begin to hear the grinding of stone as he's like turning something on the front of the sarcophagus, as you jam the lightning hook straight into his chest, and it causes him to, like, you see him spasm and collapse backwards. The other 3 immediately jump into action, and I think they're going to, like, attack you.
All right.
I don't know what else
I
they would
told
do
him
in this
not to.
situation. I think they'd lunge towards you to try to get the hook out of your hands.
All right. Grackle's she's in a brawl.
Okay.
She's in her element.
Are Fume and Salome continuing?
I think Salome will pat Fume and just say, back Grackle up. I'll help Glass, and we're gonna get the fuck out of here.
You got it, boss.
Have I had time to be like unhooking barrels and stuff?
Yes.
Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
I will say you could have had some time to
I'm
do that
prepping.
while they're. Yeah. You begin to like undo like the chains and the ropes like around the barrels to get a few in place.
Salome will run to the next car and help Glass.
Okay. So Grackle, they begin to rush towards you. They are just they're essentially trying to restrain you. What do Grackle and Fume do?
They're dweebs in robes. What can they do against me?
They
just
pull out
cracking skulls
guns.
They all pull out chainsaws underneath their robes.
Matalo.
I'm just cracking skulls together. Like,
Okay. Sounds
Fume,
like a
it's
skirmish.
Yeah.
classic, like, close quarters combat.
Fume is going to punch his knuckles together. They spark, and the nearest person is getting 2 jabs in the gut.
Okay. I'll let you both roll to skirmish. We'll say risky standard.
Ooh. I am going to push myself here for funnies.
Okay.
Okay.
Critical.
You did push yourself. Okay. I also rolled a 6. No, I didn't roll anything. Why didn't? Okay, there it goes. I rolled a 6. Never mind. Everything's fine.
Premonition. Okay. The two of you rush towards these nerds in their robes, and
Welcome to high school.
So, when I push myself, I get the ability to perform a feat of athletics on the verge of superhuman, or maneuver to confuse your enemy so they mistakenly attack each other.
Oh, that's fun. I love that for you.
okay. Now, so that is something you push yourself in addition to making the roll?
As in addition to making the roll, yeah.
Okay. All right. So I assume you're going for the attack each other option.
Yeah.
Okay. So Grackle, give me some flavor for what you do for the one nerd that attacks you.
He like, what are they coming at us with? Just like their fists?
You see, they draw oh god, what's the word I was looking for? It's the
Stilettos.
No, it's like the archaic where it starts with an A for like ritual daggers.
Anathema.
Anathema.
Yeah.
She just gets in. They all draw like these like scary looking daggers. She just gets in.
Grackle look at each other.
She steps into like he's like coming at her with the knife. She just steps in like past the length of his arm, so that she's past the knife, grabs both of his arms so that they're like, splayed outwards, and then headbutts him.
Okay. Yeah, you just grab, disarm, slam your head into his, immediately goes down. Fume, the two charge at you.
He takes a step back, lets one of them lead, uppercuts them in the under the chin, spins them around to get stabbed by the other guy. The other guy is reeling, and he just reaches over and shoves the guy who got stabbed, grabs the other guy, and slams his head down on the sarcophagus.
Okay.
Knock, bitch.
You slam his head down on the sarcophagus. All three of them knock out. As you slam the guy's head down, it just like stillness, everyone's unconscious, like groaning on the ground. Assuming y'all aren't actually like killing them here. It's not like lethal force. Not that bell hasn't already been rung, but as you slam the guy, rip Leroy. You slam his head down, leaving a bloody smear of his face against the sarcophagus, and you begin to watch as the blood on the sarcophagus runs through the grooves, and you begin to hear a grinding of stone underneath.
We should go.
Grackle starts squaring up for a fight.
We should go grabbing Grackle by like the collar or the back of the scruff.
Okay. She'll let him take her, but like she's definitely like looking over her shoulder, like I'm gonna fight that thing.
Okay. Everyone rushes in the last car. Salome, you and Glass have gotten the a couple of the barrels undone. What do you do with the barrels?
If we need to maybe flashback this,
Overtime?
I think we should.
yes. I guess the plan would have been either having something set up in advance to sort of what's it called? Skyline them where we need to go, or if we zipline. There we go. I have no words right now. I'm grieving Leroy Jenkins still. Or if we were able to maybe plan this out to do all of this while we were still over water.
Yeah.
Just sort
you're
of
still over
tossing
water
them in
right
the
now.
yeah.
Yeah, we have our boat down there to
Boat
fish
down
out
there.
the barrels.
Yeah. And I'm
yeah.
happy to lead that that check as well. And-
I don't think we need to make a check for it. This is something you'd pretty easily be able to plan out ahead of time. So I'll say 1 stress flashback to
Cool.
say that your boat is down there being crewed by your cohort and
Sweet.
ready to fish the barrels out of the water.
Perfect. I will take that.
We could even like net them all together and then like have a buoy attached to them. To,
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Ding ding.
I love it. Okay, so really it's just trying to get the barrels out of here as quickly as possible.
I mean, I could take 1 drain and pick up 2 barrels, no problem.
How bad's your drain right now, son?
So, fun fact: on a downtime action, I just restore 5 drain flat, no rolling.
That's pretty good.
Is that connected? Like the rest of our stress is connected to the tokens, or is that something we're not seeing?
How much drain do you have right now?
I have click 4 drain.
Okay, so
Is-
then yeah, it's showing.
Is that your stress?
It is my
basically what
stress.
Drain
now?
equals
Okay.
stress. I just want to make sure it was actually showing the same way it did for the rest of you
Cool.
on here.
Cool,
So
cool.
yes.
I'll take it. That puts me at exactly 5 drain.
That's silly. You're
Okay.
Okay. So you push yourself to do that. I will ask for we could do this as a teamwork action that Fume is leading, or you could
Sure.
you could let Fume take the lead here.
Let's do a teamwork.
Yeah, we haven't done one this job.
One of us is bound to roll a 6.
God,
we?
I fucking
Are we
hope
really?
so.
Yeah, what are we rolling? Because that's gonna
Yeah,
determine
that's
who
gonna
participates.
determine.
That's what I'm trying to decide.
Feats of strength. Well, if we want to do it fast, I guess finesse. No, that's something.
I was thinking either wreck.
I'm out.
It's
Growl is for like climbing, jumping, running, tumbling, swimming.
Yeah. It's weird they don't have like a physical stat for like strength.
feats of strength. I would say it's either going to be skirmish or wreck, because in my interpretation here is wreck is to wreck a place, item, or obstacle with savage force. Like you could and breach defenses with force. Like you
Bust
are
out
using
the side
force
wall
to
of the-
overcome an obstacle here.
Mhm.
So I think wreck may apply. And a skirmish is to assault or hold a position. I'm gonna say wreck. I'm gonna say
Wreck.
wreck.
I'm out.
Okay. Are we teamwork on I'm actually pretty good at rec since I had to like drop one of my masteries.
I will gladly give my final freebie help to one of you.
I should not participate.
Okay.
Okay. So
I've
you-
set
you-
you
you
up
should-
by getting them free.
Yeah,
Yeah,
thank you.
you guys get the barrels ready to go. You put the buoy and the net and everything on there. You throw open the door, and then Grackle and Fume come running in, and they both muscle into it.
Love it.
I'd say give the assist to Grackle.
Okay. So Grackle, you get a. Is this going to be just a risky standard?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, take an extra die, Grackle.
I can do that.
God, that's fucking close. Hey!
Yeah, baby.
Damn.
Dice Gods just needed blood. They needed blood, and now they're back on track.
It's true.
Critical success.
I've converted Fume to from what's it? Just a smart guy to I unga, therefore I bunga.
Glass
no.
and Salome quickly binding the barrels together so that it's easier to fish out of the water. After that is done, Grackle and Fume, the two of you move forward, hoisting the group of barrels that you have, because we're assuming y'all are taking extra to sell on the side too. Y'all talked about doing that.
Yes.
So grab this first bunch of barrels and heave them over the side. You hear a spoon as they hit the water. You can see your boat coming in along the canal with your cohort, pulling out some hooks to like pull and lash the barrels onto the side, just to move quickly, and they'll bring them over the side once y'all are to safety. You hear a lot of commotion coming from the edge of the river, where there appear to be some bluecoats and other guards gathering over at Gaddock rail station of this commotion, along with like throngs of people gawking at whatever's happening. As the barrels hit the water, you go to grab the second batch and hurl them through, making quick work of this with a critical success. Glass. With your sense of the paranormal and the supernatural, just as the last barrels go over the side, and you're planning to make your escape, you look down into the car. You see the sarcophagus lid has sort of folded open from the center, and stepping out of the sarcophagus, you see a figure that is has a flowing like silk red robe over a black
Please be Lord Skurlock. Please be
suit.
Lord Skurlock.
He has long black hair that is braided and fastened with gold. A pallid, like white skin, as he sort of turns and looks over the bodies and looks back towards you. You see something very supernatural. You realize at this point, as you look at this figure, you get this overwhelming sense of something paranormal, something supernatural looking at you. All of your jokes about Skurlock being a vampire, seeing this figure in person, you realize that is a fucking vampire. As he looks towards you, and you feel the energy sort of being pulled in the room, a sigil of the this like golden necklace with sigils of the church emblazoned across them, kind of over his like open shirt, kind of laying across his white chest, and he looks down towards you and he says, "And who might you people be?"
Get out now.
Do we need another flashback to zip line away?
You could zip line away, or you could jump.
Yeah, I was gonna say we could jump and then line launcher to get ourselves down.
Get
Yeah.
out.
Just like hatch onto the bridge and then swing and then
Get in the water.
You could do a flashback to have a safe way of getting down, or you jump and do some resistance rolls.
Can we do a flashback to do a safe way? Because I don't really want a repeat of Leroy. Yeah.
She's
And
taking it really hard.
all four of you die in the water.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
Ryan, we all have injuries that we can. We've got injuries to spare.
We can say with your flashback that you've like hooked some ropes on to like rappel down from the to your boat from the train line. Is that where you want to go with this?
Yeah.
Okay. If y'all want to escape by boat, otherwise you can go with the zip line and down to the other side of the river and escape separately from your boat.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that might be more prudent.
Oh, okay. Here's a cool idea.
Ooh, what?
We know that we wanted to jump off the train at a particular moment, right? And it's like right before the bridge is done, like right before the bridge runs out. So we have a zip line set up from the last pylon of the bridge to the wall, before, like to the like the other end of the city, right? Or to
The river. The other like
yeah, yes, to a safe spot on the shore.
all the way across the city. You'll just zip line across the-
Going full Spider-Man. I
I
love
told
it.
you, I'm sleep deprived. I'm trying my best.
No,
Okay,
you're great.
but there's a zip line, and then we can just jump off of the train, and then grapple onto the zip line, and then zip down.
Okay.
Easy.
I love
yeah. So we'll do this as we'll call this another one stress flashback.
I can take it. That's fine.
All right. Does everyone jump out of the train?
As everyone's jumping, I'll go last.
Okay.
I told you people
I
to
don't
stand down.
It seems they didn't listen.
I mean,
What is your name?
Glass.
You see kind of a look like again this like shark-like darkness to his eyes as he nods and he says, Glass, I am Vicar Jacques Belmont, and I will remember your face.
Good. Seems like you're gonna need some friends in this city. Jump out the train.
You as you jump out of the train, grabbing onto the zip line, and the four of you zip lining.
Probably mostly
to the
grabbing
side
onto
of the
Grackle, being like, fuck.
I was gonna say Grackle like waits to jump with Glass.
Yeah. As you look back and you see the billowing silk robe of Vicar Belmont as he stands at the entryway, at the opening to the sidecar of this train, and then fades back into the darkness.
I mean, I didn't get the impression he was super pissed.
What the fuck was that?
A vampire.
Oh.
A real one.
Oh.
I need a drink.
Yeah.
I'm sure they existed.
Out of all the things that could exist, it's vampires that's getting you.
I've seen a lot of things in this world. Vampire wasn't one of them.
Now it is.
All I'm saying is...
We're walking, we're talking.
I was imagining you have this conversation while ziplining.
Yes, of course.
It's a long zip line.
We land. Salome, I need a drink. All I'm saying is... maybe he's not totally pissed?
Did you offer his associates as a snackaroony?
No, but I did tell him we didn't mean any harm, and, he's gonna need some new guards, I guess.
Well, Grackle and I did.
Always a vacuum to be filled in Duskwall.
Those guys weren't guards. He don't need defending.
No? But what people like that do need is other people to follow them. And suddenly he's without his.
And with that, was waiting for the one if there was another one-liner to end the session.
Oh, wait, I got it.
Okay,
Fume,
okay,
remind me to get in touch with Lady Jenkins when we get back.
Will do. Fume presses something in his chest. There's a ding and a little clatter. He pulls something from outside of his like clothing and hands Salome a like glass of bourbon.
No.
No. Okay.
No.
That was the limit. That was the limit.
That was the limit. Okay.
What was your one-liner? Glass, go for it.
Whatever side of this we come out on, we have to be very careful. It's not like Duskwall needed another bloodsucker in its midst.
Hey!
That's where we'll end our session for tonight. Well done, everybody. And thank you, G, for the NPC.
Vicar Belmont.
Vicar Jacques Belmont. Love it. Okay, let's rip through it.
Cool
We
to
gotta
name a
end.
vampire Belma.
Yeah, I came up with the vampire idea because it's obviously Castlevania. So yeah.
Loving it. We gotta end on time today.
Yeah, we gotta end
Okay.
on time. I don't know if
We
we'll have
do.
time for the quotes. Let's try it. So let's do our end of session questionees. So
Oh, my shit changed.
everybody marked their desperate actions for today, I assume.
Nice.
All
Thank
right. Playbook specific XP trigger.
Where's my...
Arcane power.
I challenge with tracking your violence.
I don't
I did
feel
that.
like I should be allowed to take XP considering all of my calculations and conspiracies today were epic failures. I will
it's
not be giving.
It's not
I won't-
about succeeding, it's about trying.
I mean, that's why I just address a challenge, not
Succeed
not solve a challenge.
was not solve a
Solve a
challenge. Create a challenge
You
with
can-
calculation and
You can
conspiracy.
address something and have it go horribly.
Horribly wrong.
Yeah.
Also,
What you
All right,
want-
fine.
the-
I'm taking 2 then
The
for real.
XP is for learning what not to do for next time.
Apparently, pushing a man off of a bridge to save his life. We're never doing that again.
Val, I realize now what the function is for, and it's for EXP gain. Because mine reads, you fulfill your functions despite difficulty or danger. And also I get, you suppressed or ignored your former human beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Interesting. Okay. I do
Okay.
like that.
I'm going to take 1 XP for fulfilling my functions, which I have quickly added to acquire, to destroy, to discover.
Okay, I like that.
Like that.
Excellent. So playbook specific XP trigger. Beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Oh,
We always do
fuck.
that.
That means I don't get XP. Oh, no, I'm in a bind. As a whole, I have to deny that to get XP from that.
Oh,
that's weird.
you fight again. Well, because essentially with the whole, you've been programmed to do something against your free will. Is like the idea for the whole.
The idea.
Very interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have to talk about that. Kind of figure out how that's going to work because you're in a weird situation where you put yourself in a hole. So. Okay, and then you struggle with issues from your vice or traumas.
I guess it's time to reveal to the class. I am gonna call this one because I think before everything that happened last time, Glass would have just said there's a bunch of weird fuckers in this train car, just a warning, and not tried to intervene to make sure they lived.
Okay.
Because after everything that happened during downtime, Glass has been granted a trauma.
Oh no.
We talked about it, and Van got a voluntary trauma for what happened to glass. So.
And me and Wings have already talked about this.
Yeah.
So Wings
It's true.
got to know. But yeah, I was halfway between cold and soft, and a lot of it was based on what happened when Grackle came back.
Yeah.
And so I picked soft.
I love that.
Gotcha.
Excellent. Let's do crew advancement.
Successful burglary, espionage, robbery, or sabotage operation.
Yes.
I'll
Ping.
give that to you on this one, and so won't double up next time.
Yeah. Challenges above your current station.
Yes.
The train
Stop.
station, am I right?
Apparently, also a vampire vicar.
Yeah.
NBT.
Oh,
There's some big boys in there.
Who would
Also
have thought the
surprise
transit
vampire.
authority was like the highest fucking
You
rank?
live in New York. You should know this.
They're bottom of the barrel at best here.
Bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one.
Flamboyant.
Definitely flamboyant.
That was pretty flamboyant.
Yeah.
Yeah, say murder a guy by pushing him out of a train. It's pretty fun.
Shut up!
We love you, Sid.
Goals, drives, inner conflict, essential nature of the crew.
Yeah. Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're close to advancing again.
Yay.
I
Boy.
advanced.
Yay.
Yeah.
Oh boy. That Leroy Jenkins falling to his death on a train is the
Oops,
funniest
sorry.
thing that's happened in this
It
game.
is my
Like-
biggest regret in a TTRPG. I have done some fucked up shit in TTRPGs. Leroy Jenkins will live in my heart forever.
Yeah.
You know, the first time you
don't know,
accidentally kill
maybe
somebody without meaning it, it lives in your heart.
It does.
Maybe
I
he
still
got out
think
of there.
about that poor bartender.
Oh
Maybe he was just a really good swimmer and he didn't come up because he was already like powering it to the.
Oh,
Maybe
no. The
He has
GM
gills.
said he's dead.
Maybe he has
Y'all are,
gills.
or maybe y'all be haunted by Leroy Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unquiet Dead.
I'm gonna make amends to his family, I promise.
Could we spend some stress for a quick flashback of fishing his body out the water so I can put him in a hole?
Not today. It's 5:59.
Oh, yeah,
No,
we
gotta
gotta
go,
go. We gotta
go.
go. We
We'll
gotta
talk
go. We
about
gotta
that
go.
next time. So
Yeah.
we're not gonna have time for stars and wishes today, but we'll do those in the chat. Thank you everyone out there for watching. We'll be back next week to continue our game. In the meantime, join us on Tuesday for the next iteration of Strixhaven. We're starting a new adventure. But yeah, that's what we're gonna call it. Thank you everyone for watching. Thank you my lovely players for being as amazing as always, and we will see you all in 1 week. And until next time, good game and good night, Internet.